It's really scratchy sounding.
Yeah, Dara, your mic has suddenly just gone super roboto.
What? Why?
I don't know. Oh my god, it's horrible.
What? How is it for stream? Stream, do you hear mic issues?
Okay, so it's not bad in stream.
Okay, then
But
it's
it is in Zoom.
yeah. 1 sec. Hold, please. Hi guys. Hi everyone. Mic is good in stream. Okay.
Well, I can just deal with Robo Dara in the call.
Is it really bad?
It
Mm.
might
you
correct
guys?
itself over time.
Yeah.
It's
Is
bad
this-
enough to hurt the ears, but whatever.
Ooh, shit. Sorry guys.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Saji's camera looks really bad too. Do you guys see that on stream?
No, she looks okay on
No.
stream.
What? On my
Yeah,
end,
it's
it's
kind
like
of doing weird stuff in Zoom, but why is it not a problem on stream?
right? That's so weird. I don't know. That's so crazy.
Well, I guess that's the important part, right?
That sounds like a Zoom problem. Yeah, I don't know. That's weird. That's so weird. Because it was working fine for 30 minutes while we were in the Zoom call before we went live, and then suddenly now that maybe it's because I'm streaming and Zoom and it's the new mic, maybe just shit is fucking weird. But Saji looks a little low res. Yeah, okay. That's
Oh, Zoom.
oh, Zoomerino. Weird. I don't know. I'll tell you what. That's crazy. Rect thinks he knows why. Tell us what's up. Weird. Well, I don't get it. I don't know. Hello, everybody. Sorry about the rocky start there. Welcome to Minkles and Dragons. Every Friday night, we play Dungeons and Dragons live for you lovely people. Solus, thank you for the 12-month, 1 year resub. Holy shit. Hi, also. Thank you very much for that. Appreciate it. My day was good. I just pretty much started. I wake up at like 3 now and then stream. So this is my day. Yeah, so just a reminder, while we're playing D&D right now, we're interacting with chat, but when we get started, which is really quickly here, we're going to get into it. I will not be interacting with chat. None of us will be interacting with the chat because we want to focus on the gameplay. We want to be listening to Dylan, who is our dungeon master. So we will not be talking to you. So I'm not ignoring you on purpose. Well, I kind of am on purpose, but it's because we want to focus on the game. Okay, so keep that in mind while we're playing. Master my dungeon, Dylan. Jesus, talking is super hard. This is gonna be fun. Yeah, I like to let Dylan take it away from here pretty much because talking's hard for me.
And while I take it away, Dara, can you shift the map up and a little bit to the right?
Sure.
On the screen, the stream. Hello, everybody. It's time for episode 1 of chapter 2 of Minkles and Dragons, A Rocky Start. I hope everyone's having a lovely day today, evening, whatever. You're all from different time zones. I hope you're all enjoying this period in time that you currently occupy linearly.
Perfect. Nailed it.
So, in this episode, we're basically following up with the episode, pretty much jumping right into the continuation of where we left off with last episode, which is the High Singer Dylanom had basically told the city to move, and that's where we left it. That was the cliffhanger.
Oh.
So for all of you guys...
I was just going to say, if anybody needs to catch up on any of the episodes, that link right there is going to bring you to the Minkles and Dragons playlist. It has every one of our episodes that we've done already in that playlist. So do subscribe and make sure you have that. Make sure you take a look at that. Give it a watch if you haven't caught up on our episodes. Yeah.
I think I'm a little off center.
Yeah. There you go.
There we go.
Yeah. Yep.
Perfect.
Excellent.
All right, I'll chillax over here. And while I'm chillaxing over here, just to catch all of you guys up on the quick rundown before we start our adventure.
Oh my god, I'm sorry.
Oh wow. Evie's angry at something.
Yeah.
So what happened last time is all throughout chapter 1, our heroes had come to the moving mining city of Eders. They were all, for various reasons, in the city at the time when it decided not to move after thousands of years of reliably moving north and then south every year to harvest rare minerals and then process and refine them and return them to the south to trade with all the other cities. So it had been about a month since that hadn't been moving. So a lot of people in that time evacuated from the city, leaving very few people left who were either too poor or too unlucky or too crazy to leave. And now a really nasty winter storm has set upon the city, and these storms are deadly. They're very, very, very cold, and they're magically infused. The northern half of the continent basically has constant roiling magical snowstorms that kind of move further south as it gets more into the winter months. So they went through the whole process of essentially figuring out what was wrong with the city, and then found out that it was this big, weird, possessed rock monster thing living in the sewers, and it was sending armies of possessed rock monsters to the surface to try to kill them. And then before everybody died, they found out that the magic of song and music in general was what managed to destabilize them and basically hurt this creature. So they went down into the sewers and sung its dick right off. And now they're in the control room of the city, basically leaving off from where at the end of last episode, Delanom had basically started the keys going. So it's kind of like the city's going like, so it's like, oh fuck, I hope it starts. I don't want to be stuck here in the winter. So before we resume from that point, is everybody ready for some Minkles and fucking dragons?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Let's fucking roll. Let's fucking rage. Sorry.
Maybe we can get some hypes in the chat to get us
Get
going.
some hypes in the chat.
Pipe.
Exclamation mark hype will do a thing. There it is. They it is. Minkles fucking dragons? No. Minkles and fucking dragon. Well, that still sounds weird. Well, sure.
Fucking dragon.
I gotta fix the hype so that there's no like delay so people can spam that. There's like a timer. It must be like a timer on it. Add that to the list of things to do, Daredef. Great.
You'll just have to hype it manually. Manual hype engage.
This is my manual hyping. Yeah.
Adventure time.
Oh yeah.
Alrighty.
Yeah,
What?
Patreon. Rec mentioned Patreon. We
yeah.
do go ahead.
Right. Yes, we have a Patreon going, and we have a couple of you fine folks already on there helping us basically keep the lights on in the land of make-believe.
Yes, thank
So
you to Zach and Kiri, who are our first 2 patrons. Big hypes for them and loves for them.
Yes, if you're enjoying our project so far and want to support it and want to see us be able to continue doing it, because we'll be doing a review period in April, and whether it has enough turnout or not will determine if we continue the adventure. So to ensure that happens and you get your fix of it all the way through 2019, just make sure you're here for our broadcasts, make sure you provide feedback where you can, and if you can afford to, feel free to just give us like a handful of change. Or more, if you're Big Daddy Warbucks.
Big Daddy Warbucks.
Daddy Warbucks.
Help us have a little Annie Orphan Christmas and make Minkles and Dragons rich beyond your wildest dreams. All right. So with that said, I guess we can start. Is everyone good?
Yeah, yerp.
Yeah.
Yerp.
Yeah, yerp, fam. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Yerp.
We didn't do it last week. We took a little break. And so I'm really fixing for a hot minklin. What?
Well then, why don't I deliver and get this show on the road?
Give me that hot minklin, Dylan.
Same sentence.
All right. Hot Minklin incoming.
Monka.
Manga.
All right, let's hope this is the right song because I forgot what I labeled it.
Label it Hot Minklin.
No, the intro music. Okay, everyone, shush. I must create. Following the defeat of the rock creature that played host to the suspension and eventual attempted invasion of Eders, our heroes now wait with bated breath as the High Singer coaxes the ancient and hallowed machinery of the city to life, in hopes they will finally be able to escape the winter hellscape that holds the city firmly within its grasp. A short pause fills the control center, sucking the breath out of the room with anticipation. Finally, slowly, a rumble signifying the sound of ancient stone machinery coming to life from below elicits a chorus of relieved sighs from the collective before they are replaced with cheers and handshakes. Delanom smiles in his polite little way, turning to face the party with a light in his eyes. And you are now all aware that things are finally on track to where they need to be. Thank you for saving us from the menace below our feet. I have set the city on its usual course to the south for our yearly trade meeting at Unity Plateau. Although I fear what our city brings to the table this year will be substantially less this year by a wide margin. But that's a problem for the magistrate, isn't it? And he gives you all a wink. Why don't you three follow me to my personal study, and I'll see about some suitable gifts for you all in thanks for your brave actions.
Oh, gifts?
Gifts?
Oh, all right. Let's go to study. Yeah,
All right.
I like gifts.
And just
Wait,
for those of you
gifts? Like,
who are here right now, the people all here right now are just the three of you, Kip, Keefe, and Laszlo. Those are the only three of you in there right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
All right. So Delanom leads you all back onto the stone elevator that took you up to the control room. Once everyone is on board, Delanom flicks his wrists quickly in a complicated motion of symbols, and the elevator begins to rise straight upwards until finally coming to rest. And as you reach the top, a large kind of stone door is there, and you can see that he kind of does the same thing again, and the door begins to open, and inside you see this large, like very, very important looking office. It looks like somewhere someone would stay if they were the king of this place. You're kind of wondering why the magistrate doesn't have this kind of as his setup, but it's large. There's lots of weird, freaky things all over the place. Books, just tons of books. It looks like basically just a rich nerd's wet dream, more or less.
So like
in this setting.
Dumbledore's office.
Yeah, you've got some straight up Dumbledore shit going on here right now.
In there?
There's no Phoenix. You don't see a Phoenix.
Ah, shit.
All right. So as you guys basically follow Delanom into his office, he comes to a kind of a laid out setting of things that he had prepared. Obviously he had kind of like given some thought to this before in hopes that somebody might have been able to solve this problem. So he was a bit prepared with a selection of goodies, and the first thing he goes over and picks up, and he walks over to Kip, and he looks at Kip, and he says, "The gift I have for you was a gift given to me many years ago by your race. I feel it only fit to return to someone so worthy of it. This is a flute, the flute of Automatona, an enchanted instrument that soothes the savage soul of raging creatures. Simply play this instrument against any foe in an attempt to woo them to your side and make them see things from your perspective. It works best against wild animals, but it seems to have a decent effect on any living creature from what I've studied of its abilities."
Oh. Yeah, I do recall these. I had lessons when I was younger, but I don't quite remember how to play it. That's... Oh my god. Thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna practice a little bit before I play that more. That's very kind of you. Thank you so much. I will cherish this. I love the beautiful notes that serenade my ears whenever I used to hear this played as a child. Thank you very much.
You are most welcome.
You
And,
can serenade us for our next adventure
I absolutely...
or battle tune.
I'm trying to keep a straight face. Thank you so much. I will. I can't wait. The battle cry of the automatona, or what? Wait, what did you call it? What is it called in this world?
Automatona, yes.
Automatona. The battle cry from that is just... It will make any quivering man ready for battle.
It's a tool of friendship, not war.
Oh. Damn it! Why do I have all this friendship stuff? Oh god.
All right. So Delanom kind of chuckles to himself, and I'm loving the response from chat to that. And he kind of walks over to Keefe next, and he looks down at her and he goes, "And you, my adorable little magic friend, I have for you the Ring of Reflection. This item, while useless to non-magical beings, is of great potence in the hands of those gifted by the touch of magic in our world. With this ring, all you need do is channel the intent of your action like any other spell and focus on reflecting the magic intended for you in whatever way you see fit to manifest it. This, in turn, will provide the magical heavy lifting needed to take anything headed your way and send it back the way it came."
Okay, this sounds like nothing could go wrong. Not at all. Thanks. I'm really excited to try this out all the time. Thank you so much, Magistrate.
That's a high singer.
Hi, Singer.
That's
Thanks.
right.
Thanks, bud.
Delanon, right?
Yeah,
Thanks, Delanom.
Delanom.
I gotta like Delanon.
Delanom.
Delanom. Okay.
Like
Yes.
nomming.
Yeah,
Nom,
like
nom, nom.
Delanom, nom, nom, nom.
I literally have to start keeping notes of names and who they are because I get confused sometimes the more people we have. I singer Delanom. Okay. Thanks.
All right, so he kind of Delanom nods to Keefe, and then he moves over to Laszlo. And lastly, for you, Laszlo, son of the infamous Jermaine Dipple, I present to you a unique weapon of great value, the Alchemist's Revenge. This one-of-a-kind pistol was built and designed by the great alchemical mage Zonadornan. It transmutes rare metals and minerals into offensive attacks. Alas, the great mage never bothered to write down the exact combinations of what makes what come out of it before he died from an unrelated self-inflicted gunshot wound. But with a little experimentation, I am certain you can work wonders with this item.
I am very thankful to receive this item from you, and I hope that it does not blow my face off at some point later.
Now, what could go wrong? You'll be great.
Well, do you have any familiarity operating any firearms?
Yes, I have many years of firearm experience. You know, when you're rich, it's one of the things you do to occupy your boredom.
Oh, do you possess any firearms currently?
At my chateau, yes.
Oh, so you're not carrying any other pistols on you?
I have one that was summoned by Keefe. It appears to be a very similar quality.
And as you bring it out and you show him, you see that they're the exact same fucking pistol. And for a minute there, Delanom kind of looks down at it and looks at the pistol. And sorry, how do you have another one of these?
I believe you can thank the talented the talented crafting of Keefe. So can I have both?
Delanom kind of like sits for a minute. Okay. and hands it to you. So now you have 2 Alchemist's Revenge pistols.
I will make good use of this.
If these guns were real.
You should name them different things.
Like, like no cash back and no refunds?
Or just have
So
one.
good.
Have
I
one
can't
like
wait till
no,
you name
and this one
future
refund.
children. No cash back and no refund. These are my kids. Their first names are both No, and then this is cash back and refunds. Nice to meet
So
you.
good. Oh.
So as you guys basically kind of sit there and then thank Delanom, and he's a little off put by the fact that like this one of a kind relic that he's known of and no other thing in the history of ever has a duplicate somehow is a little bit throwing him off for his game, but he kind of recovers. And yes, I thank you all very much for saving the city. And as he kind of like says that, you can feel the stone inner workings of the city kind of ramping up as everything feels kind of like it's moving now. And he kind of looks over you all and he goes, I understand that this is probably something you also would seek monetary compensation for. So unfortunately, I do not take charge of the expenditures of the city. You will need to ask the magistrate for that.
And where is he?
So is that, do you guys have anything to say in response?
Yes, where did he run off to?
Yeah, I was asking where the magistrate was when I said, and where is he?
Well, I imagine he's down in his office right now, working out what goes where and the specifics of responding to things in response to us finally being mobile. So perhaps if you head down there and speak to him, he'll see fit to award you some financial compensation for your undertakings.
Let's go.
All right, so you guys are going to go to the elevator and ride it down to go talk to the magistrate?
Hell yeah, I want my bitch better have my money. Let's go. Honestly, I wasn't expecting like a reward at all, so this is like just bonus.
I kind of just wanted to help, and I got to practice my magic, so now I have more things to practice with.
Sorry, my throat. I'm still getting over a cold, so apologies to people if I'm not talking as loudly as I normally do. So as you guys basically get onto this elevator, it sits there for a bit and starts descending. And this is where I will take a moment to remind the audience that during our adventures, we have votes that you can cast your vote for, essentially. So right now on the screen, you guys will see our first vote. It's pretty straightforward. I didn't name names in it. I never name specific names or anything in the vote, so there's always a chance they're going to be something other than what you think it is. But if you could go ahead and cast your votes now, then we will resolve those votes shortly as the players continue their adventure here. So all you have to do is click on the screen for the stream, and it should pop up. Otherwise, there's like a little button at the bottom. I'm not entirely sure what it is for mobile, but you'll see like a stream. What's it called again, Dara? Twitch
Overlay?
Picks. It's Twitch Picks. Yeah. It'll be a thing called Twitch Picks, and then you basically get to vote on it.
Cheese Nom said there's no vote now. That vote
There's
happened
no
10
vote
minutes
now.
ago. There is no vote now.
What?
Does anybody else not see a
No,
vote?
I see it coming up.
Oh.
Yeah, I can see it. There's 9 votes and 4 votes.
Remember when I was watching, I had to refresh my Twitch for it to activate the Twitch basically.
Right, yes. If you can't see it, just refresh your stream as well, and then you'll be able to vote on it. It's
Did you already vote, Cheese Nom? Like, did you vote 10 minutes ago? Possibly.
I voted when we started the poll, and it's still coming up for me also.
Interesting.
Oh, don't don't spoil anything. These sorry, I should have said these votes are also supposed to be unknown to the players.
Yeah, so we can see we could still see chat right now. So don't mention anything about like the context of the votes because it's usually something like we're not supposed to know what it is. It's supposed to be like a surprise.
Yeah, all the votes are supposed to be surprises for our players.
Yeah. It's okay.
All right.
Don't worry about it at all.
It is all good. All right. So, as you guys kind of ride the elevator down, you get back to the main area where all the snobs and rich tools are kind of hanging out, but now you see them significantly more unsettled now that there's a smattering of poor people and random hard laboring blacksmiths and odd demon folk scattered around them now, and they're just kind of mingling, trying to kind of get along, you know, like, hey, how are you? My name's blah blah blah, and they're like, poor people, ah. So you're having a bit of a laugh at this kind of interaction of the mixed classes. So yeah, are you guys gonna head over to the office?
Yeah. Definitely with determination to see what kind of financial reward we receive.
Are you're all gonna go to the office?
Poor folk.
Yeah.
Is everybody coming with? Yeah.
I'm going.
All right, let's go.
I think I should stay out of this one. I got quite heated last time. I don't think I'm going to be able to help you there.
All right. Okay.
That's fair.
Then
Fair enough.
Keefe will come with. Let's go.
All right, so Laszlo kind of bids you guys farewell and walks off to do his own thing while the two of you kind of try to reason with the magistrate on getting paid. So as you walk through the hallways, there's kind of like a buzz going on where people are sort of working out what they what they're responding to in this whole situation. People are very relieved that they can feel the whole city moving, even though it's a bit of a strange situation. And eventually, you guys reach the doorway to the office, and you notice that it's closed. Are you gonna knock on the door?
Yes. Knock, 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 knock.
You might want to play your
I know, right? I have my automaton at the ready in case we need to use it for some serious discussion. Serious, what's it called when you like barter? Sure, barter.
Parlay.
Parlay, yes.
Parlay.
A serious parlay.
They're gonna parlay with the magistrate.
Yes.
All right. So, as you guys enter the area, basically the door is opened and there's a big noise of an opening door that we've heard a million times, but I don't have it with me right now because I just don't. So the door is opening and the guards are basically kind of like hauling it back, and you kind of walk in and you can see that the magistrate is going over a whole bunch of different like books and information and what have you. And as he does so, he kind of looks up and he's got little half-rimmed spectacles on his face, and he kind of like puts his fingers on them and he goes, what do you want?
So that was kind of a tough problem that we just solved here for the city, and we were kind of thinking that maybe you could, help us out with our bills, since we've been working real hard, had to kind of step away from work, and now we kind of live after we could live. Yeah. So
busy saving the city and all, saving all of you. We would really like to have some, financial help.
So the magistrate kind of narrows his eyes at you, and he calmly from behind his desk. He's kind of been, but he's a little less stressed now that the city's actually moving. But you can tell he's very obviously not in a good mood still. And he kind of goes like, and he takes his glasses off, and he goes, "Sorry, hold on, I have a prop for this." Are you aware of how much time we've wasted and resources we could have produced dealing with this problem?
Yeah, but it wasn't our problem. We just fixed it for you. It's like when you clog the toilet yourself and the plumber comes to fix it for you. Well, generally, you pay the plumber for cleaning up your shit.
Literally.
Literally.
I couldn't have thought of a more appropriate metaphor considering what you guys did.
I'm just saying. We were literally in the sewers. Shit.
With shit.
Come
and
on.
Vomit, mind you.
Lots of vomit.
Lots of vomit.
That stone singer of yours, he kind of got a lot of vomit.
The magistrate kind of stops and considers this a bit, and kind of like you could see him reasoning a little bit in his head that like, yeah, okay, you did fix the problem and you did literally go into the sewers to do it, and that couldn't have been pleasant. You can get that like that inner deliberation, and eventually he kind of looks up and he goes, "How much do you want?"
Oh, I didn't think this far ahead. Keefe, how much do we want?
Money. I don't know. A lot of money.
You want a lot?
No, what I'm saying, how much is a lot?
How much do you got?
This is a bad way to start this.
He kind of frowns at you. Are you extorting me now?
We're not gambling.
I don't know. I'm really bad at this kind of stuff. Maybe I'll.
Hold on.
Okay, Keefe, you take.
I think I would like 20 gold pieces.
20 gold? Keefe, you're worth more than that.
I don't know. I only have 100 gold on me. I'm assuming 20's a lot.
I want to double what I've got on me. I would like 100 gold pieces. 200 gold. Always start high, Keefe. I would like 200 gold pieces.
The magistrate sits there.
All together. I always get fucked over there.
He sighs and just kind of looks around, and he waves his hand at one of the guards, and a guard comes over and he kind of whispers something in his ear, and then the guard kind of goes away, and and he kind of sits there for a minute, and he goes, "All right, I'm bringing you what I think is appropriate here. You're obviously very terrible negotiators, but I understand that we're going to need to ensure that people know that you were properly compensated." And as he's kind of saying that, then a guard returns with a large sack, essentially, of like a comically large tax collector's sack of clinking coins, essentially. And he has a little brief aside with the guard, and he kind of picks it up and he throws it across the room, and it's pretty tightly sealed. But you guys have established by now he's got a pretty good throwing arm amongst other things. So he just kind of like tosses it, and it sails across this long room and lands at your feet in a bit of a loud clink. And he goes, "Oh, there you go. About 5,000 gold coins should do it for you." But that's the pool for everyone who wants help. I'm putting you two in charge of making sure that everybody gets paid.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
divide it amongst however you wish or wherever it needs to go. And also, don't bother me. And he kind of looks down and keeps working on his papers.
Sir,
Okay.
yes, sir. Wait, do you want to hear a
Got it.
song?
Yeah, we could serenade you for all of this money.
Okay, I think we should go, Keefe.
Yep. Let's go. We'll spread
Okay,
this
bye.
Really appreciate it. Bye.
We just scurry like very quickly out of his little room.
With our big sack of money.
Yeah. Coins like trailing behind as we're running away. Just-
All right. So as you guys kind of walk out with your money, you're standing there in the hallway with it, and now you've got this big pile of money. What are you guys going to do now?
Keefe.
Find Laszlo and see if he wants.
Yeah. 5,000. How much did he give us? How much is in this freaking sack?
You got a sack full of 5,000 gold.
5,000 gold. That's crazy.
Did the math for us in chat. Cheating? Do I need to do the math myself? Do I need to roleplay doing
Well,
the math on my
Here's the thing. He did say that it's for everyone who helped. So that probably includes Prue and what was that angry elf's name? Elias?
Oh yeah, that guy.
Right? And Laszlo. I mean, a lot if he
Was
ever
5?
shows up again, that
Oh,
is.
so
But
you each get 1,000 gold. That's easy. I
That's-
don't need a calculator.
yeah,
For that.
that's pretty good.
That's really nice of you guys to leave out Donalyn.
Oh man, I'll buy him several drinks. I'll buy him a lot of booze.
You know who we should give some money to? Hold on. I gotta look up his name because
Should
I
we
can't
give
remember.
it to the intern?
The intern! That's who I was thinking, but I can't remember his name. I'm looking for
David.
David.
David the
David the
intern. I
Yeah.
think we should personally give some to David. Maybe like 100, 200. What do you think? Okay, yeah. That's what I'm
Yeah,
thinking.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's go see if
by the
Laszlo
way,
wants any. Laszlo's pretty
Kip-
rich. Maybe he won't want any.
Kip, Keefe, can you go ahead and roll me a d20 real quick?
Oh, okay.
God.
It's
I'm
unmodified.
scared. Okay. Oh, whoops. I
I'm
got
good
a
at
12.
math.
I hope this is for a good thing.
I hope so too, because I rolled a fucking 8.
So as you guys are sitting there trying to determine what's gonna go on with your money, essentially you can hear a noise, kind of like almost starting up over your rocky talkies, and your speaking rocks. You can hear somebody kind of like sobbing over their rock, and you kind of pick that up. You can hear somebody sobbing. Is there anything you want to do about that?
I think
I'll-
I'm gonna.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
No,
You
you-
can read it.
Okay. I was just gonna take my rock out and I look at Keefe. I'm gonna look at Keefe. And I'm just gonna be like, should we see who that is?
Probably. That doesn't sound good.
No, it doesn't. So I put the rock up to my neck. Hello? Anybody there?
There's a bit of a muffled kind of like moving around, and you can hello, and you hear the voice of Siphius.
Siphius, is that you?
And there's like a sniffle and a pause, and he's struggling very hard to respond, and he goes, yes. I didn't realize this was on.
Oh, it's on, honey. It's on. You all right, bud?
He kind of he can't really control his sobbing. He's really just super out of it, you can tell. And he says, I need you to take I need someone to get the magistrate.
Oh boy. Okay. Keefe? Wait, Siphius, where are you?
I'm in Delenum's office. Please bring everyone you can find, but don't make a fuss about it.
Oh, okay.
What's wrong? Ask him what's wrong.
Yeah. Are you able to tell us what's going on? Like, right
I can't say over the network. Please just bring everyone.
Okay, yeah, right away. Put my turn my Rocky Talkie off, put it in my satchel. Okay, so I guess we got to go back to the magistrate. He's gonna be really mad, but we should let him know that it's really important. Okay, so we quickly turn back on our heels and walk up to the magistrate's door. Knock, 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 knock.
And I go, hello, we need your help. This isn't about money. Please let us in. It's really important.
And you just hear the sound of like somebody like frustratingly moving an entire table over to the left that shouldn't be moved by like human hands so easily. And the stomping of feet coming up to the doors. And then the magistrate just grabs them both and flings them open himself. And he's looking down at you. Sorry, hold on one second. He's looking down at you. He's like, "What do you want?"
Yep.
So we were just leaving with our large sack of coins. That was very generous of you. We kind of heard over the stone, our Rocky Talkies, Siphius sobbing quite a bit, and he says that he needs you to come immediately and to gather as many as we can. It seemed pretty serious. So are you? I know you're busy, but I really think we need to go check on Siphius.
Go where?
Delanom's office.
And he kind of like sours a little bit, or he dowers. His look gets a little more dour, and he kind of looks left and right, and then he whistles through his fingers, which I can't do. I've never been able to do that. But like whistle, and then and then all the guards in the room and a couple more around the area kind of converge on him, and he says, "All right, let's head out."
Okay.
I hope he's okay.
Same. I'm scared.
So as you go along with the magistrate, you guys kind of start heading towards the elevator, and you can see that a couple of people have already gathered on the elevator, waiting for it to be activated. And you can see Laszlo is waiting there for you guys. You can see Devotion, the demonic priestess. She's waiting on the elevator too. Codcar, the big Minotaur fellow there, he overheard the conversation and is on the elevator as well. And then you also see Elias, the elf that has been helping you through your adventures, is also on the elevator, kind of waiting there.
What was
everybody?
Quotations for? I'm helping.
Helping.
I mean, technically, yes, you have been helping.
I saved people.
It's true. You did. You did good with your sticky stick and your dancey dance. Even if in the first episode you did get motherfucker into another motherfuckered.
That wasn't pleasant. I forgot about that.
Just so you know, Dylan, I think when we're not like doing anything on the map, I think it is what I did was opened up Siphius's information here for everyone to quickly like take a read.
Okay.
Like when we were talking to Siphius, and like for Elias, since I don't have a command for him yet, I just have him open for now so people can quickly read up on Elias, and I think I'll start doing that a little bit more when we're not,
sure.
like,
If you want to, when we're not rolling dice, if you want to just the only thing is that where the rolling is, it shows
that's
so if you maybe want to switch off from the rolling view when we're not actually rolling anything and then do that would totally be good.
like that. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Can do.
yeet my dudess.
Perfect.
Perfect. All right, cool. So everybody's kind of like on the elevator. You can see these guys, and the magistrate, along with his guards, kind of are on the elevator as well. So everyone's gathered and waiting to head up to the office. Is there anything you guys want to say to one another or anything?
Laszlo, we did get. Let's talk about that after we solve whatever's going on. Yeah.
Sorry, you were very quiet there. What did you say?
Got a lot of gold, and we want to share with you.
Oh, I very much appreciate that. Yes, we'll discuss it later.
Yeah. Let's solve the current problem that seems to be very serious. But yeah, we got gold.
Oh, Elias is here. Hey, buddy, where were you again? I just like stare him down.
And before he can tell you where he was, a little cherub flies over everybody standing in the elevator and says, "Thank you very much, Chicken, for gifting a tier 1 sub to the Ghost Badger and a tier 1 sub to Cheese Nom Nom, and also congratulations on passing your driver's test." And then everyone's like, "What the fuck was that?" And then now TJ can continue telling you what he's going to say.
I have so many windows that I'm going through on one screen, so this takes me a second. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so he puts on some glasses and starts flipping through a little book. It's like, where was I? What's the date today?
Oh, God.
Jesus Christ, Dylan. Why? No doggo. I kind of give her the side eye, and I'm like, again with you and your questions.
Oh, I have many of them.
I was with the singers who were brought into the core area.
So you mean you were like drinking and relaxing while the rest of us were doing, hard things?
No. Yes.
Huh.
Yes.
Yeah. You know how you're gonna share with him, Kip?
Yeah.
Coming from the one over there whose life I saved from being squishy, even smaller than they already are.
Hey man, my magic saved the day. We all would have been dead without some of those amazing, just by luck, I actually have no skill. It was great.
You also would have been dead if I didn't run back to the raptor priest and then we have them continue singing.
Okay. Good to have you back, buddy.
Same to you. Except you, I kind of side-eye Laszlo.
Ooh. Awkward. Anyways.
Then I go to Kip. I think I'd rather
have... What?
Oh shit, I muted myself. I think I'd rather have Laszlo.
Yeah, same. Agree.
I can hear you.
God, right. Elf ears. I should know. Anyway. Want to hear a song, guys?
Oh God, no. All right. So before you whip out the flute of Automatona, as you guys are getting ready to kind of start waiting for the elevator to start heading up, you can hear somebody kind of like stumble running through the hallway, and you can hear, "Oh, wait for me, wait!" And Dolan comes stumbling drunkenly down the hallway and kind of like lands face first on the elevator briefly, and he kind of like he goes face first down, and there's like a slight pause, and then you just hear a.
Wow.
It's the
Dolan.
drunken naked dwarf again.
Oh, we missed him so much.
Oh.
Dolan, you gem of a human.
Yeah, we missed him. Hey, bud.
Is he still naked?
Oh yeah, he doesn't wear clothes. His beard is his only source of like coverage. And now, unfortunately, his beard doesn't wrap around behind him, so he's face down, so you can kind of get the rear view.
Oh my
of
God.
everything going on.
Ugh.
I miss
So,
this guy.
Dolan just kind of like staggers upright a bit and he goes, I heard problems and I'm here to help.
Yeah, yep. We're just heading over to where are we going? Delanom's quarters. Yep. Welcome back, buddy.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
I've been meeting people.
One question, sir.
Yes.
How many dwarven ales have you had?
None. There's no ale here like that, but I have been sampling a lot of things. People don't like to stay at their tables when I sit at them, but they leave their drinks. So I developed a system, and it worked a little too well.
You just walk up to like tables, hope that they leave right away, and you drink all their drinks, and then move on.
I didn't have to hope after table 2. It was nobody.
Did he? Dalit.
What? Oh.
Yeah. Stay awake, buddy.
Okay. There's we heard.
You should have some
Cyprian.
water.
No.
Keithy, you got any water for him?
Yeah, you want some water, buddy?
What are you gonna do with that water? Are you just gonna offer it to him?
Walk over to him and kind of get ready to pour him some water.
Okay.
I
He
thought
doesn't have
the
a cup.
dwarves were famous for their ability to hold their liquor.
And Dolan kind of chuckles and he goes, "I thought we can, but that was."
That's not true.
That was 12 tables.
You've seen that play, Lord of the Rings, right? Where what was that character? Gimli is drinking a bunch and he only has a few and he gets messed up. So, yeah, I think that's a myth. Look at this guy. He's hammered.
So you
Guess
come
some
over to
things
offer,
really are fairy tales.
you
Love that
come over
play,
to
by the way.
offer Dolan the water, and he kind of looks at you, and he's like, I don't have a cup.
I'll just pour some in your mouth. They'll be fine.
And
He's
he
gonna have
goes,
to get on his knees.
Yeah, just get on your knees.
He's gonna have to lie down.
Yeah, he's a dwarf, but he's still taller than you. So
Yeah,
he's
But he's still
get
laying on the
your
ground,
knees
correct?
And I'll
no.
yeah.
He got up.
Well, just get on your knees and I'll pour it in your mouth. It's fine, easy, simple. We're good.
And he kind of goes, hold on, I got an idea. And he goes down flat, and he kind of like lays down slowly on his back. And then he opens his mouth, and he's like, go.
I think this will drown you.
No.
Did I do it?
I mean, is that what you're doing? Are you summoning water from your endless flask for him?
Yeah, why not? I'm gonna pour some water on him.
Perfect. Roll me a d20 at a +6.
Can I walk over to him and like kind of hold him up a little bit? Because I'm assuming he's swaying quite a bit.
No, he's laying down.
Oh, he's laying down. He's not on his knees. Okay.
Perfect. You roll a 13.
Oh, shit.
So,
I don't have that up. Sorry.
no, it's okay. You don't have to put it up quite yet.
Okay.
I'll just say what get rolls are done in these like interim, like improvised roll.
Okay.
Period. So God damn it, TJ. Keefe takes the infinite water satchel of hers, and she just kind of like tips it, and it pours out water, thankfully. And the water just kind of like goes all over his face a bit, and he's just kind of like reveling and splashing it on his face, and then he's kind of gargling it in his mouth and drinking it, and it looks really goofy. And as this is happening, the elevator starts to move, so you're kind of like shaking a bit, and it goes all over him, but he just doesn't care. Like, you've doused this dwarf in water now, and the elevator's going up, and you're still kind of like going at it. And this is an infinite source of water, and he hasn't told you to stop yet. Are you going to say anything?
Is that good? Is that good, Don? Can I stop?
And he kind of like is in, like, as he's like, he rolls over and he goes, thank you.
Okay, then I'll stop pouring water on him. Maybe splash a little bit extra just for fun, and then tip it back up.
So you cork up your thing, and it keeps going, and everybody's kind of standing there together on the elevator. And sorry, I looked at Discord. Hold on, I had some secret roles that I need to respond to real quick here. Cool. All right, so the elevator continues upwards, and as you reach the top and come to the office, you can all see that his door is open. The door is just kind of sitting wide open, and as the elevator comes to a complete stop, you all kind of look inside, and kind of crumpled in a pile on the ground is two figures. One is Delanom, and he's currently being held by Siphius, who is just wrecked. Siphius is crying. He looks like his world has ended, and Delanom is dead. He's lying in Siphius's arms, and you can tell from the way everything is kind of coming across here that he's not moving. There's a lot of blood, and Siphius is just like unconsolable. He doesn't even really know what's going on anymore. He's just kind of like so spaced out, and everyone immediately just kind of stops and looks over. Sorry, the chat. And yeah, so there's just everyone's just kind of sitting there, and you see Delanom being held by Siphius, dead in his arms, and there are no words. Nobody says anything. Everybody's just kind of standing there like, oh shit.
What happened?
The magistrate kind of walks over, and he doesn't really say much. He just kind of kneels down to Siphius and kind of puts his hand on his shoulder. And you can tell the magistrate is holding back a lot. He's shaking. So much so that when he puts his hand on Siphius, he kind of vibrates him a little bit. And he looks over at him and he goes, What happened? And Siphius looks up at Frederick, and he just kind of, I found him like this. I don't understand. I don't know what happened. And as you guys are kind of sitting there, you can see that everyone's sort of standing around trying to figure out what's going on. And before anyone can kind of really respond to anything, the Frederick kind of gets up and he tells everybody to stay where the hell they are, and kind of like brings over his captain of the guard, and they have a bit of a discussion. And he says, nobody leaves this room until we figure out what the hell happened here.
Okay. Can I'm gonna try to walk up to his body and Siphius. I want to like examine his body to see if there's any marks, like any sign of maybe how he died.
They might want to try and detect any magic in the room.
Okay, so let's do this in order of talking to people. So, Kip, what are you doing first? Tell me what you're doing again.
I would like to walk up to him if they let me. And like if like it was the magistrate that said nobody like can leave the room, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. I just want to make sure he will like let me go up to him. I guess I'll just say, is it okay if I take a look at his body? I just want to see if there was any foul play here.
Everyone's kind of like a little miffed, so they're like, like you can kind of just walk up and do it. But
Okay.
Siphius is the one holding him, and he's kind
Yeah.
of still looks really out of it. He doesn't even respond to you when you talk to him.
Okay, so I'm gonna kneel down and just like put my hand on Siphius's back. Like give him a little rub like I did when he was projectile vomiting everywhere. Just give a little rub. I know he's not really paying any attention, but I'm just gonna just gently like kneel down and I guess look over Delanom's body. Am I able
All
to
right.
see anything?
You look at Delanom's body and you can kind of tell that it looks like there wasn't much of a struggle. He doesn't have a lot of signs of anything. He just has a straight kind of like pierce through his neck. And then it looks like he kind of got cut up a bit in the stomach area. He kind of looks like somebody stabbed him a bunch.
Oh, okay.
So he's got a big hole in his neck, and then he's got a lot of like different weirdly shaped stab wounds that kind of look like somebody had gone to town, maybe at a shorter height.
Okay. So I guess I'll just portray that to everybody and let people know. There's a strange hole in Delanom's neck here, and on his stomach there looks like maybe he was stabbed by maybe a smaller person. There's stab wounds all along his stomach, multiple.
Everyone is a little like shocked and agape at this. Dawn is still pretty drunk and he's not looking happy. He knows the morosity of the situation, and he just kind of goes like, "Who the fuck would kill this guy?"
I don't know. Did anybody? When was the last time? Who last saw the magistrate? When was the last time everybody saw him?
The Stone Singer. High
Or-
Stone Singer.
Sorry, fuck yes, Stone Singer. Oh my God, it's so hard to keep track of everyone. Sorry. The Stone Singer.
Well, we saw him when we got our weapons from him as the thank you for defeating.
Right.
Anyone
Yeah,
else
that
see
wasn't
this?
that long ago.
It wasn't that long ago, no.
This happened this just happened.
So as you guys are all standing there, the magistrate kind of frustratingly holds his nose and looks at everyone and one by one, and he kind of goes, "All right, well, let's hear where everyone's been. Siphius," and he kind of like he looks up and he goes, "I don't need anything from you. There is not a hope in hell that you were the one who did this. But you, elf girl, let's start with you. Where were you up until the last point where you saw him to now?"
Who's
Give me a
asking us this?
This is the magistrate.
Well, we received our weapons from him, and then he suggested that we go talk to you about finances. So we went immediately from his office to yours, and right when we left it, that's when we heard Siphius sobbing over our rocky talkies. And we turned on our heels and just knocked on the door. You remember we were with you basically this whole time. At
And
least
the,
Kiwi and I.
The
I have
magistrate.
this big sack of money that you were very generous about to prove that we went to your office. Given this situation, maybe you should use this, at least my portion, maybe pay for his funeral or something, or I'll just put the money away. But yeah, we were with you. Yes, we were.
The magistrate kind of waves it off and understands like, okay, that makes sense. And then he looks over at Laszlo and he goes, "Well, what about you? Where were you during all of this?"
I was taking care of some private family matters, but I assure you it was not murder.
He kind of narrows his eyes and goes, This is a murder. There are no private anything now. What were you doing?
I said it was a private matter. I am not sharing anything with you.
Doesn't your father and him not get along too well, Laszlo?
It's a spotty history.
His
Reese?
father and who?
And Delanom.
Ah,
No, not Delanom. The magistrate.
no, it's true that that Laszlo's father, on the outside, has a bit of a cold demeanor to the magistrate and seems to act towards the high singer with civility. But in all actuality, the magistrate is the one who gets along well with Laszlo's father, whereas Delanom has always been a vocal anti, kind of like everything that Laszlo's dad's about. He ain't about that. But, you know, due to civility reasons, nobody really kind of gets that from their daily interactions.
Well, I don't believe that is in my father's abilities. They may have differences of opinion, but murder is not part of it.
Your family has gone to extreme lengths like this before, though.
Probably just tell him where you were. You weren't doing anything wrong, right?
Unless
No. I have grown to love you as a family. I would not do anything to fracture that now.
At least
All right.
tell us where you were. We can confirm that someone else might have seen you there.
I was in the rich districts where my family's home is.
Unfortunately, you'll have to do that again. You can't. I'll give you a little bit of a rundown of where you guys are stuck, because it seems there was not a lot of remembrance from the last time. You guys are stuck in the Central Spire right now. There hasn't been enough time passed to leave the Central Spire, and everything outside is currently a fuck you and your skin blizzard.
Oh.
So nobody would have been able to leave the spire.
Foolish me. I was just in one of the richer parlors discussing some things with my family.
Oh,
The magistrate kind of narrows his eyes and he goes over to one of the guards and tells him something. And then the guard leaves on the elevator along with another stone singer they had brought with them to operate it. And he kind of looks back over at Laszlo and goes, I'm going to send word for your family to come here and make sure that was what you were doing. In the meantime, what? And he looks down at the dwarf, and the dwarf, Dalin, is just kind of looking up at him and he goes, yeah. What were you doing? And the dwarf kind of hiccups. I was drinking. And the magistrate just kind of, okay. For how long? Well, we came up the elevator, and then people were like, oh, it's dead, the thing's all moving. And then I thought, now is a good time to drink. And that's about all I remember. And now I'm here. So I don't know where I was, but maybe you do. How about that, Mr. Probable Cause? And the magistrate digs his fingers into his face and draws a bit of blood and then just moves on to the next person. You, elf, what were you doing?
Elias Kolang, sir. I was
Fine.
looking for someone to make me a new cloak, as this one has been ruined fighting these rock monsters to save your city.
And he just kind of nods his head and says, okay, well, Who are you doing that with? Where were you doing that? Where did we bring seamstresses in? I don't remember that.
I was looking. No one was able to help me. Random folk couldn't even tell me where to go. Nobody in the city seems to know anything.
He kind of narrows his eyes at you and says, all right, I'll get witnesses. And he moves on to Codcar, and they kind of like glare at each other after their previous altercation. Codcar is like looking down at him, kind of like the magistrates looks up at him, and they don't say anything for a little bit. And Codcar kind of like nods, and the magistrate nods, and then he just moves on to devotion. And he kind of looks her up and down and goes, "Where have you been, demon spawn?" And she just kind of chuckles a bit to herself and informs the magistrate that she had been taking care of her followers and making sure that they played nice with everybody else in the building, since they had come in after going underground to try and find the monster, which she was quick to remind him he was so graciously insistent upon everybody heading down below to fix the problem. And he just kind of like goes a little redder and walks away. So he comes and stands before everybody and he goes, all right, I'm going to make an announcement and we're going to try and figure out what's been going on here. And when I get back, we're going to see what happened. And at this point, we're going to take our first break of the evening.
Wee.
Ooh, break time.
Break time. Oh
So-
man, my heart. That guy's
No,
been
that's
alive
actually
for over
devastating.
500 years, dudes. Like that's. Oh.
That's right. Delanom had outlived everybody, and now he ain't doing that no more.
Or it's a trick. It's a trap.
It's a trap. Hopefully, it's just a trap that we could get out of. But yeah, all right. Let's take a quick break. And we'll be back here in a few minutes. Make sure you guys mute. And yeah,
Yep.
sweet. See you guys in a bit. Hold on. Sorry. Really? No.
Yes.
Sí, señorita.
Yeehaw!
Just before we,
There we go. Sorry. Go ahead.
I say just before we get back into it, completely out of character, you could say this was a stone cold killing. Yeah.
Slash ban the ghost
Please,
badger.
please ban him.
Can you lock his cam and his audio?
Yeah, that
I
deserves
I saw my sunglasses. I'm like, I can't let this go.
The role of TJ for the rest of this evening will be played by this mop.
SMH.
Wow.
Wow.
No one appreciates good comedy these days.
Age of offended. Hi guys. Yeah, we're back. Anything that you want to say, Dylan, before we start?
Hell yeah, let's do a little breaky talky before we get back into our adventures.
Sounds good.
First things first, let's give some thanks to hey, you want me to play some like passive music?
Just turn it down a little bit lower than what we usually have it at.
Let's just do our
Oh god,
Yeah.
it's so loud. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's so
perfect.
loud. There we go.
There
Is
we
it
go.
good?
Yeah,
Good?
that's perfect.
All right, cool. So this is our break period right now. We're gonna take a little time to ask you guys questions. If there's any things you want to say, comments, concerns, like whatever the hell, feel free to go ahead and give them to us.
Yes.
And then likewise, this is where we give a little bit of thanks to the people who have been working on this project so far and remind you that we have a Patreon and all that fun stuff. There's also, first thing I'll start with is in Dara's Discord. If somebody could go ahead, !Discord in
Got it.
chat. Dara's Discord has a channel called Minkles and Dragons. If you want to post anything in there, like questions about the adventures or whatever, you can.
Clips of Dylan singing his awesome songs.
Yeah, or whatever, and we'll get back to you pretty quickly because I eat, sleep, and breathe Discord. So if anybody posts on that channel, I'll probably be like, "Yes, hello, it's 5 a.m. I'll answer your questions." Yes, the command is also Dick's sword,
It's not working.
right? Dick's sword doesn't work.
I don't know what's happened. Oh, there it is. Just a little...
Maybe it's just a cooldown.
Yeah, it's cooldown.
So yeah, the Minkles and Dragons channel on Discord, you can post anything you want there. Especially, we love fan art. If you're like, man, these adventures are really fun, I want to draw these characters. We don't care how badly you draw. We love seeing fan art. We're like a proud parent putting your shitty scribbles on the fridge. You
Yes,
know,
please.
we're gonna be like, this goes right here for everyone to see in the morning, and it doesn't matter you drew it with your feces.
Also, thank you to Burnsy for those 50 bits, Cheese Nom 35 bits. Thank you for the charity bits. Chicken, thank you for the gift sub to Cheese Nom and Ghost Badger. JTL, 1E with that host. Burnsy with some more 50 biddies. Solus Fox with the resub 12 months. Oh, we've already, I think I did that. Major Big Mac with the 8-month resub. Wrecked with the 18 months tier 3 fucking resub. Thank you very much. And that's it on my end for thank you. Oh, and Tasty Peach Studios coming in with that 4-month resub. Thank you very much, Tasty Peach Studios. Make sure you guys go follow her. She's awesome. She's an amazing human, great artist, and entrepreneur. She's got.
Should your sub notice be that far off to the right or left of the
I
screen?
didn't even see where it was going. I didn't even see it. Hold on, let me see. Where does it pop?
It pops up over the City of Eders like side thing.
Yeah,
where
I think
all
I purposely put it there, so I don't know why, but it could go in the middle. That's fine. There you go. Yeah. Thank you, Tasty Peach.
All
Love
right,
you.
cool.
Hope
So
you're
yeah,
well.
you guys go ahead and ask your questions in the chat, and we'll get to them while we're talking here. So if you have any questions or comments or whatever the hell, please feel free to type them now. In the meantime, just a reminder to everyone, !Patreon brings up our Patreon link. We need big sacks of gold coins in order to make sure that this can actually keep going past a certain point. We will be for sure continuing this project into April, so you've still got plenty of episodes from us, but if you want to see everything unravel, we do need support. It doesn't have to be monetary, we just need a lot of people being like, have you watched Minkles and Dragons? Why, no, I haven't. What the fuck is wrong with you? Go watch it right now. Sorry.
I don't know about you guys, but that's grade A advertising right there. That you pay the big bucks for that, it's worth more than billboards.
Yes, again, here's the Patreon link. And yeah, we will be looking at stuff like Patreon growth, as well as when I'm streaming, where we will look at number growth, viewer growth in April to decide if we're going to cancel it or keep going. So your support means a lot to us by either being here watching or supporting on Patreon. It means a lot. So yeah.
That's right, Athane. It is not an ad. It's just casual conversation that happens to encompass things we need to advertise.
Yeah.
Speaking of casual conversation about people, why don't I go ahead and bring up the fact that big thanks and ups to Dara Def for letting us host this crazy program on her channel and being our lovely kind of lead in all of this shenaniganry.
Tips Fedora multiple times.
And then also thank you very much to Keefe for joining us in these excursions. Keefe, played by Saji, is Dara's community manager. She's the one who's done a lot of these amazing emotes that we have in the chat here. All of the amazing emotes in the chat.
All of the emotes.
And a bunch of other amazing art stuff. And she's a fantastic designer as well. And she has been doing a great job playing the role of Keefe.
You may have noticed... Oh, sorry.
Our klutzy gnome, but what were you saying, Dara?
I was just going to say, you may have noticed we do have 3 new emotes. Yikes. Oof. And Dara fine. This is fine. So make sure to spam those bad boys as you see fit throughout the night. Yes.
And then we move on to Laszlo Dipple, played by MWB Design Studios. He is the one who has been providing a lot of this fantastic portraiture artwork for us. He's also done the animated logo for our thingamadoodle and has plans to introduce a lot more artistic contributions along with his hilarious portrayal of the character Laszlo Dipple. So go ahead and give him some love as well. And lastly, we have our fantastic guest who has been a reliable reoccurring character for us, TJ, playing Elias Culling, is a longtime friend of mine and awesome member of the community. So thank you very much. And every one of us here currently streams.
Oh.
So if you want to go ahead and click on our names or whatever gets shout out, look us up on Twitch. We would appreciate the follows as well.
Big round of applause for Dylan as well, our amazing dungeon master who has created this entire universe and the story within it. So that takes a lot of time and a lot of work. So thank you so much, Dylan. You've done an amazing job so far.
Yeah, no problem.
Dylan does stream as well. Every single one is streamers. So yeah, please, I dropped every single person's link there in chat. So please do give them a follow.
Right, and then so just a quick rundown of everything for everybody here too. We did a vote. The vote went through. I didn't tell you guys that it went through, but it was basically, does the magistrate capitulate and pay everybody? So you guys voted yes in a large margin. So good on you for rewarding the players. They would have been happy with just their fancy gadgetry, but you made sure that they got away with, walking around money too. So that was what you guys decided. And now, before we start, I'll just direct your attention that there is another thing up. It's a lot more vague. So you can go ahead and put your votes on the, what are those called? Survey? What? There's got to be a better word for that. The The box that done do the thing.
The vote
You make your votes.
overlay. The vote overlay. I don't know.
Sure. And also, thank you for those 50 bits, Burnsy. We appreciate your contributions to Dara's channel.
Thank you, Bitsy. That's what I might as well be calling Burnsy Bitsy at this point. Thanks, Bitsy.
He should just change his name.
Yeah, it's more fitting, Bitsy, to be honest. Yeah, but I think the poll being vague is on purpose.
Yes, you don't really know what's going to happen, but you guys do influence the fate of the adventure and things that happen in different degrees. This one's a little smaller degree. I guess it is kind of a big decision whether they get $5,000 or not. So maybe yeah, that was a big vote.
Did you guys know Lloyd is here?
Oh, Lloyd is here.
Thank you very much
so
for that. Follow, welcome to the Minkles squad. Appreciate it.
Yeah, so essentially, this next vote will go through at some point, and I'll try to remember to let everybody know. Please bear with me for this adventure. I'm still getting over a really horrible cold, and it made a resurgence this morning because I woke up and my throat was sore as hell, so I literally just spent the morning shoving steam inside me from all angles. So
I've been informed that Fiddle just subscribed to the Patreon, but it didn't show up for some reason. So thank you, Fiddlesticks Bot.
yes, thank you, Fiddlesticks Bot, for your subscription to our Patreon. We appreciate that.
Cool.
And also, holy shit,
$50 a Fiddle? He's just smiling over there. Holy moly.
oh
Our
shit.
first $50 patron. Holy crap.
Well, you know what that means. We get next adventure. We get to implement our reward system for high contributors
Oh
of
my
that
God.
tier.
That's so exciting. Thank you, babe. And Zach coming in with gift subs. Holy shit. To Bushra, Lena, Commander Santa, and Active Energy. Wow. Thank you, Zach, for the gift subs and also being a patron. Appreciate it. Hello, Shadow Queen. How are you, my dear? Fiddle
Yeah.
Warbucks.
Yeah, big thanks to Zach and Saji and Fiddle now for being our first Patreon supporters.
Sad.
And Kiri.
Kiri.
Fuck, I do that all
Yeah,
the
I was like,
time.
wait a second. I didn't
Every
You're even like,
done
yeah,
something with
wait.
money I don't even know. Like, what the fuck?
Dylan,
Every
don't
fucking
misrepresent.
But yes, thank you very much to all of you for your contributions. And now that Fiddle has filled out one of our higher tiers, we can start implementing our high tier worship system. So essentially what happens when you're a contributor at the highest tier is whoever is our highest contributing Patreon at the time of that broadcast, we will do a little before and after session where we will literally put a representation of them in a shrine to the right here, and we will give thanks to them as if they were our new god. So Fiddle, you can look forward to us worshiping you like our new Lord and Savior next session.
Like he needs more worship. Am I right? I mean, see, like look in chat. Exhibit A.
Kaido, we already know that you want to worship Fiddle.
Kaido does worship Fiddle. Oh gosh.
It'll be a special little time for him. All right, so does anyone else have anything they want to say or cover before we resume our adventure and figure out who done it in the murder of High Slinger Delanom?
Who done it?
Who done it, man?
We'll find out on the next episode of Minkles and Dragons.
Minkles and Dragons.
Which is playing right now.
Yep, this is the live episode.
Yeah. Yes, for those of you who might be watching the videos, which we have on, I suppose I should mention that too. If you want to watch the previous videos we've done, the previous sessions, there is a YouTube. Dara's YouTube is currently where we're hosting it right now, but you can go to the YouTube link there, and you can watch all of the previous episodes of our sessions, and then catch up with everybody else.
Yeet.
Or you can just jump in on random sessions and be like, "This seems neat. I don't need no backstory." Whatever you prefer, we don't judge.
More adventurous that way.
It's true. You don't know what's going on. You're like, "Oh my god, it's an adventure." All right.
All right.
Let that DM blindside you, though. He's a shifty fellow sometimes.
All right, so is everybody ready?
Yeah. I'm good
Can we get some?
Yeah.
Can we get some scissor eyes from everybody in anticipation of starting our adventure? Yeah, there we go. Some solid hype.
Queen, let it be only 17. Just kidding. This is an 18 plus stream, by the way. Mature, audience only.
Oh yeah, by the way, if you're not 18 years of age and you're currently sitting in the chat, don't tell a fucking person because you'll be banned instantaneously.
Keep it to yourself.
Keep it to yourself.
As far as we know, everybody watching this stream is 18 years of age or older.
Yep, absolutely.
We're all adults here. Because everyone
we may
is
not act like it, but yes, we are.
Yeah.
everyone is a 20-year-old
We may
Swedish
be-
underwear model on the internet.
Jesus. Hey, Papa Pino. All right. Let's fucking start this.
All right, let's stop being happy and be sad again about the dead
Oh,
guy.
yeah. Shit.
Oh yeah, shit. I forgot this one.
Shit. For those of you here, I'll put the high speakers information up.
So
Delanom.
y'all so quick to forget about the important dude who died.
Yeah, right. So this is the stone speaker. You could read a little bit about him and feel even more sad when you read the information here. Because he's dead now. 500 plus years of living, and now he's fucking dead. Maybe. We don't know for sure. He seems pretty fucking dead, but maybe it's a trap, as Keefe mentioned before break. All right. Sad face.
All right, sad face. All right, we resume our adventure. Some time has passed as everyone has been kept in the room here while witness statements have been corroborated. I'm a forensic scientist. Shut up. Sad faces,
I
no
can't.
laughter.
God damn it. It's so hard.
That's what she said.
Kappa.
So after a bit of time has passed, you are all kind of sitting there and waiting for the administrator to return with the corroborated witness statements. While you're kind of left to your own devices, there are two guards watching over the door to make sure nobody leaves, and Siphius has still not bothered to move from under Delanom's corpse. Nobody really wants to kind of move him. Dahlin is sobering up a bit now. And as you guys kind of sit around, you just are left to your own devices. So you're stuck in an active crime scene. Why don't we start with Keefe? Keefe, what are you going to do?
So I was going to detect magic in the room and see if I can sense anything different than when I previously detected magic and just sensed that stone singing was magic. So I'm trying to see if there's anything different feeling.
That's fair. That's fair. All right. Why don't you go ahead and just roll me a d20 and with like a +5 modifier.
Please be not awful. Wait, did it roll?
I don't see anything. There we go. That one. Nope, that's damage. That's not d20. That would have been that would have been great. Actually, no, it was. I think it was 6s, natural 6s, because you're rolling d6s on damage.
Fuck. I thought it was a natural 20. Okay, well, let's expect this 2. 12.
That's good enough.
Whatever.
It's not like a hard thing to look around for, potentially. So you cast Detect Magic. It doesn't go horribly wrong, and somebody doesn't lose their dick or whatever was going to happen if you rolled a 1.
You know.
And and as you look around the room, you can see that there are a lot of magical items in here. It's like you get a bit of a headache because you did cast it, and it's like, oh, fuck my head. And you can kind of get the sense that there's a lot of really impressive, like fancy doodads and whatnots in this room. And some of them, as you look at them, look like they've kind of been moved around, and like so a lot of them had dust on them, but a lot of them also don't have dust on them. Or have had it, they look disturbed. It looks like things have been shifted around a bit. And you don't know whether that was like recent or if it was just Delanom moving things around as usual, you know.
Can I feel any like leftover magic energy from anything that might have been used recently, or can I sense anything that still is like
Sorry.
actively? You know what I mean?
Sorry, are you being the tiny woman from Poltergeist right now?
I've never seen
Can I
Poltergeist.
sense a presence here?
No, I've never seen that before.
Damn it.
But
Okay,
sure,
so you,
yeah, can I
you
sense
wanna...
any magical presence from something that might have been used recently?
Oh, so like recently, can you basically like magically detect if things have been touched and moved recently?
Yeah, like basically, you know, when you leave the oven on and then you turn it off, but it's still kind of warm. I'm wondering if something else in there is still kind of like resonating with magical energy from being recently used.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead and roll me a d20 with a +5.
Not damage this time.
Yeah, not damage.
That's
Nice.
better.
Well done. So it's an unnatural 15. I'm trying not to die. So essentially, you look around and you start feeling stuff, and you get the sense that things have been moved in a hurry recently. A lot of things, primarily books. A lot of books were shifted around, and it looks like whatever was recently touched is actually a book sitting on the desk with a note.
I'm gonna go over to the desk and see what the note says.
Okay. Sorry, pardon me. So it looks like you kind of look down at this note next to this book, and the book, as you look at it, is kind of bound in stone. It looks like it's very intricately locked, and there would be no way for you to damage the interior or even read it until you can kind of like open it. And it looks like it's another kind of like object that only a stone singer could get access to. And as you look down at the note basically reads out as a note for Siphius. And the note tells Siphius that if he's ever reading that note, that Delanom has given him this book through one means or another. And inside of this book is all the things that he wanted to pass on to Siphius that might not have been told to him already. And he kind of like hints in the message that, like, maybe there's something in here about why I lived to be 500 fucking years old as a regular human being, right? And you get that impression from it. It's a little, you get the sense that Delanom is trying to be a little bit subtle about it, but you're basically like, okay, well, that's not, you're pretty obvious here, buddy. So yeah, that's basically what the note says. It says the book's for Siphius, and it looks like it's been moved recently, like very recently, out of everything in there.
I turn to Siphius and attempt to communicate with him. Obviously, he might not be able to in this state, but ask him if he's seen this, if he's seen what Delanon left for him.
Wait, you give him the book or the note?
Both.
Okay, well, the book is made of stone. You are a tiny gnome person.
I pick up the letter. Yeah, the letter.
Okay.
Not a stone book that would squash me. Whatever.
All right, so
Dropping that on your toes.
That would
Yeah, they're
suck.
dead now. I got normal toes again. We're good.
That would suck ass. Also, just a reminder to everybody, there is a vote going on right now on the stream. You can hover over Dara's chat, and once we finish, or at some point, I will stop the vote and resolve what it affects in the story, and I will tell you when I do it the next time, instead of like previously where I just kind of left people to figure it out. But going forwards, so you go ahead and you bring the note over to Siphius, and Siphius is kind of like blankly staring, and he doesn't really acknowledge your presence.
Kind of put my hand on his back and I go, "Hey, Siphius, it'll be okay."
And he's still pretty blank.
I'm just gonna kind of pat him a little bit and let him continue to mourn and put the letter back on the desk, and then go back to the group and kind of tell them what I found.
Okay, so you come back to everybody. Who are you telling specifically?
Specifically Kip and Laszlo.
Okay.
And Elias as well.
I was about to
Okay.
say, damn.
I remembered.
Not be inclusive.
I forgot for a minute that you were in here with us. So it kind of
Oh, wow.
How can you forget that Elias is in the room?
I don't know. You just you're kind
Sometimes
of
he's just
forgettable.
really
I'm not gonna lie.
Oh. Spicy burritos being
Ask me
thrown
if I
around.
save a gnome again.
Spicy. Sorry.
All right, so you basically kind of gather around everybody, and do you make an effort not to like let Codcar or Devotion or Dawn over to be part of that, or?
Yeah, just kind of share it with the immediate adventures.
Okay. So
the ones that I know were most likely not the ones that could have murdered Delanon.
All right, go ahead and act that out. Why don't you?
Oh, so, hey guys. So it seems that this room is very magical. There is a note on the table over there that is for Siphius, and Delanon left this book for him that kind of shares how he lived so long and a lot of his magical stones. Siphius is rather unable to talk, but I wonder if that's who killed Delanon, what they were after? Maybe?
Saji, sorry, just an interruption. Your mic randomly, for no reason, just like makes you go really quiet, and then
or
you're
like completely
fuck
cuts
me.
out. Yeah. I mean, I got the gist of it.
Okay, the
but...
gist is there's a magical book over there that I think Delanon got killed over. It's for Siphius now. Siphius can't function. I can't pick that shit up because it's way too heavy. So I'm just telling you guys in case that's what got Delanon killed. There you go.
Why would he be killed over a book?
Because it's supposed to give all the secrets of like lived so long. There might be more magic stone singing things in there. If someone wants to control this city, they probably need the secrets in there.
Why wouldn't they have taken it though? You think they would take it? It's a pretty big book.
Yeah, but it's heavy. I mean, I couldn't pick it. I'm a little gnome. I couldn't pick it up. If one of you can pick it up, then maybe that's a good point. But
were you able to read the book?
No, you can't open it unless you stone. Well, I'm assuming unless you stone sing to it. It didn't look like there were any locks or anything on it, but it was bound in stone.
It's a book in stone with a letter beside it, leaving it for Siphius. Maybe we ask him to open it.
Well, he's not really coherent at the moment.
Yeah, I tried to talk to him and he wasn't really functioning.
Maybe use that new flute of yours and make him more responsive.
You know, there is this really high note I remember using a lot, and I would make my mother so upset because I would just hit it over and over and over again. You know, Elias, that's the smartest thing you've said all day. I'm going to walk over to Siphius. I'm going to kneel down and put the flute automatona right directly in his ear. And I'm just going to play this note. Oh, and I'm going to keep doing that for a while.
Okay, he's going to immediately be like, what in the fuck?
You see that, guys? It totally worked. Siphius.
Oh, it hurt.
Sorry, was that like so really loud? Sorry.
It was a little loud. I have like earbuds in and I felt it pulsating through my head.
What did you say, youngin'? I can't hear you anymore.
Sorry.
I did this. This is on me.
That's
I gave her
so
the tool.
you. Siphius, snap out of it. We really need you. Listen, I know that you idolized Delanon. I know that you loved him. But right now, he would want you to be as strong as ever. We need justice and we need revenge. We need to find out who did this to him. Are you willing to help us out, Siphius?
He kind of puts his finger in his ear a bit and goes, "Ma, no."
Oops. I might have done some real damage there.
And then he looks up at you and he goes, "Yes, all right. I'll do what I can." And he just kind of like looks down at Delanom and swallows, and then pushes him gently onto the ground and kind of gets up.
I would like to walk over and offer my hand to help him up.
Oh, okay. You do that. So he gets up and you hold out your hand and he takes it and gets up with your assistance. So there you go. You did a nice thing.
Shocking.
Surprising everyone.
Shocking. There's almost no
offer
words.
him some water from my gnome flask and just kind of look at him hopefully like, "Want some?"
He's standing now, so he looks down at you and he just kind of shakes his head because he remembers what happens the last time you and Water and him interacted.
Okay, Siphius, so there was a letter here addressed to you from Delanom. It looks like he wanted to give you this book. Does this look familiar at all? And I point to the large book.
He walks over to the book and he picks it up and looks at it, and he's kind of like mulling it over, and he goes, I've seen no trace of this. I've never been near this book. I can tell it's meant to be unlocked with our order's art, but it's new to me. What did the letter say? Can I have that, please?
Keefe, do you have the letter?
I was mute for a moment there. I hand it over.
Siphius takes the note and he kind of like scans over it a bit and looks at the book. Is just kind of mulling it over, looking at the note. And he takes a minute and composes himself and goes, I don't think whatever's in here has anything to do with this investigation, so I will save whatever I need to read from it when we've finished figuring out who did this.
How would we know if you don't open the book?
And he kind of looks over at Elias and he goes, well, what do you mean? Why would opening the book do anything to tell us who killed him?
Anything evidence could help us.
And maybe there's something in there somebody wanted.
And if you're the only one that can figure it out, you are the greatest piece of evidence right now.
Siphius ponders that point over and he looks at Keefe and he says, yes, there is something inside this book that only I can open. And until we figure out who was the one who killed it, I don't think I'd be doing anyone any favors by making sure this was opened.
Is it only you, or could any stone singer open it?
It would take considerable effort from one of the other stone singers. I have been left some very clear... You may not have noticed in the note, but there's some things here that help me decipher exactly what processes for opening this that may be a little over the head of some of our adepts. So it would fall to me to open it the quickest. Perhaps one of the other singers could open it, but I doubt they could.
I look at him and I'm like, if that is what you think is best.
All right, so as you guys are kind of sitting there, Laszlo, is there anything you're going to do during this whole process?
Well, I wasn't here to see any of this, and I am not magical in the least, but I do think that we should possibly dig a bit deeper into this book and what it could mean for his death.
I second that. I really think that this book is important to solving this tragic murder. There's a reason why it's here, and we need to. I think it's a vital piece of information.
Also, did you not see this letter when you found him? Did he already have this out and ready for you? Just
Siphius kind of like puts his hand on his face, and all I saw was Delanom, and everything else. I didn't notice anything else beyond that. He could have put it out for me in relation to how I proved myself today, or, I don't know. I don't know.
For Siphius, that doesn't make sense to me. Unless he knew that something was going to happen.
I think so too.
He kind of like shrugs and goes, possibly. I mean, it could have happened. I don't understand why he would know his death was coming, but perhaps he had enemies. There's not much to say about how it would have taken considerable effort to get up here without using the elevator. I don't think any person could have done it easily.
Who all came up in the elevator with us? Is there anyone in this room that came up that isn't here now?
The only person who left was the magistrate. He went to go find corroborating evidence from witnesses to back up everyone's alibis, to make sure that everyone could basically say, like, yeah, I saw such and such here and there. So he's going to go talk to other people out and around and come back. But right now, the people who are in the room are the four of you, Dallin Digbeard, the dwarf, Devotion, the demonkin priestess, and Kodkar Anvilbreaker, the big Minotaur smith. And two guards. Sorry. And they're sitting there going, we're guards. Yeah, we're guards.
And can any stone singer use the elevator, or would it have to have been Siphius or like David, for example?
Siphius and Delanom would have been the only ones who knew how to get into the door. But anyone else could have operated the elevator. And the door was open when you guys arrived, but that was obviously because Siphius had opened it and gone in.
Does Delanom have a door that also uses magic in his office?
Like, you mean the door to his office?
Yes. Is it just a regular door?
It's just a big stone door that could have been opened with stone singing, or can only be opened with stone singing.
This really narrows down the murder suspects then.
Like, Laszlo, you're saying that it must have been a stone speaker?
I mean, if all of these things are blocked by stone singing, then it would conclude that somebody with that power must have been behind this.
Then who would kill the high singer, though? Someone that wanted to maybe become the high singer?
Sorry, what was that, Elias?
Maybe someone who, like she said, someone who wanted to succeed him.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody looking to get up in the ranks.
Overthrow.
Well, unfortunately, that's probably not really. As Siphius turns to you and he goes, it's not how things work here. You are not afforded a position as a high singer in one of the cities, no matter how well you perform. It's based on longevity. High singers cannot be human, except for Delanom's case. He was an exception, but most high singers cannot be qualified out of the majority of the people who are currently here. In fact, the staff of singers at Eders is purely human.
Why can't a human be the high singer?
Well, with the exception of Delanom, many humans only live at most to be 90 or 100 years old in very specific circumstances. And that's not long enough to oversee these cities.
Have you ever wanted to be the high singer?
That was the purpose of my apprenticeship with Delanom.
Has he ever made you mad for any reason?
No, I've worshipped every word, every footfall of this man for the majority of my adult life. I have been here for many years and done all I can to prove myself.
Didn't the magistrate not want to let us in, though? Or not the magistrate, but the high singer.
And
Delanom was
went
not in
against-
charge of that initiative. He didn't determine whether the admission was that. That falls under the purview of the magistrate's decisions.
So the magistrate kept us from this scene, and only a very few people could get in this office to begin with.
Sorry, are you saying that the part where you guys weren't allowed into the spire?
Yeah, that's what I meant was
That doesn't, because he died just recently. That was several episodes ago.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that wasn't.
Like you guys literally talked to Delanom at the beginning of this episode.
No, I know. But what I was saying is that he got in like a little tiff with Siphius over whether or not we should be let in.
You mean the magistrate got angry at the Stone Singers for... Well, actually, what ended up happening there, what was explained in the previous episode, but I will reiterate, is Siphius and David the intern, outside of any orders from anyone given, used one of the Stone Singer accessories to reach the bottom and let you guys in. And in the process, they fell down the staircase.
Yeah.
So we don't know the magistrate's reason for blocking us out for real. He says it was for safety, but there could be something deeper underneath.
Possibly. And Delanom also, during that altercation, Siphius is like, well, Delanom wasn't for or against it. He simply went with what was being directed at the time. We were the ones who decided that it was time to allow everyone inside before you all perished.
Is there anyone else that you think would want to be a high singer?
Potentially, many of the older living races that are still at Unity Plateau, in the capital of what passes for, I suppose, an empire, although there's really no emperor and nothing like that. But the collective moving cities and the core capital that we all meet at once a year, there are many there that have trained their long lives to hopefully occupy the position if it were to be ever available. But unfortunately, Delanom was never really going to relinquish the position, what with never dying and all, and until today.
I know this is touchy for you right now, but you said humans don't get to be high singer because they don't live long enough. How was he able to live to 500 as a normal human? Maybe the info is in the book that he left you? Is that something that someone could have been after? Because if the Stone Singer could open the book, maybe that's what they were after.
Yes. I suppose that's possible. I suppose that they perhaps orchestrated this at the right time in order to figure out how Delanom's longevity, and perhaps had previous knowledge of this book, and it might inside have information related to that, but I don't know for sure. I've never seen this book before. Don't know how anyone else would know about it. I'm one of the only people who ever comes into Delanom's office on a regular basis.
Is there any way we can tell if his trying to like figure out how to not be an asshole and asking this, but if his sadness is genuine, or if there seems to be like any hint of
you want to see if maybe Siphius was the one who did this?
Yes,
Yeah.
you're not
You're trying to
making it.
figure
I
out.
was gonna
like-
say I wanted to ask, did we ask at all where Siphius was?
But okay, so here's the thing, right? That you saw that earlier. The magistrate didn't ask Siphius any of those questions,
Right.
because he figured, like, why the fuck would Siphius kill this guy?
Right.
Yeah.
But that is a good approach. Good sleuthing, everybody. And yeah, you can go ahead and tell you what, everyone here, you can go ahead and roll me a d20 unmodified to tell if, and Laszlo, we'll say that you already rolled it, but I'll add a +4 to that because you're used to dealing with duplicitous assholes.
Duplicitous. Ooh.
Yeah, I can't tell
What
shit.
the
For all I know,
fuck?
he's like real upset about this shit.
Holy shit. Again, are you serious?
So
Here come the rolls.
Here come the rules.
Kip and Keith are like, fuck, do I love pie? Yes, I love pie too. La la la. They're like skipping in a circle, holding each other's fucking hands. Whereas Laszlo and Elias both get the sense that he is genuine in his grief. If he killed the High Singer, he doesn't know that he did it.
Right.
I know that I kind of like whisper to our little group here and I say, I know that we love our dear friend Dolan, but we know how he gets when he drinks. Should we maybe dive into what went on there?
So are you insinuating that the drunken naked dwarf somehow stumbled his ass up here and murdered the High Singer?
Not
I mean, you can go
necessarily,
ahead and ask him.
but there are really like marks on his stomach from like a short person that could have done something.
Yep, there's a clean puncture wound through the throat, and there's a lot of stab marks in the stomach.
And you know, it's something we could look into. His story doesn't quite check out. I know we love him dearly, but maybe he saw something. Maybe there's a way to get a little more information on what was happening for him.
Tell you what, I'm going to reiterate a statement, but only if you roll after a certain number. So roll a d20 and unmodified. And if you get high enough, I will say something again. It'll pass. All right. There is a puncture wound straight through his throat from the front to the back at his neck level, and then a lot of stab wounds at the stomach level.
Like a bow or like an arrow
Like
through his neck?
Nope, there's no sign of a murder weapon or no sign of anything like that lying around. Otherwise, I would have mentioned it. But I mean, you could search for clues. That's also a thing you can do in situations like this. But the puncture wound looks like a straight pierce through the neck. And you get the sense that somebody who's vertically challenged might have had to stand on a stool to do that.
Are you trying to insinuate that there were 2 people involved in this murder?
I'm not insinuating anything. I'm giving you a hint. And that's it.
I think we should search for clues.
Sounds like a good idea.
All right,
Yeah,
gang, split up and look for clues.
Yeah, by asking about Dolan, I think maybe we should start asking a little bit more from the people in the room, other than just "Where were you?"
That is
a little more information.
That is a great idea. Let's parse it up into who's doing what. So, Kip, let me know what you're doing. Are you going to search for clues? Are you going to ask people stuff? Are you going to do anything else?
I'll search for more clues.
Okay, Keefe, what are you going to do?
I'm gonna stand around and think for a moment.
Okay, I'll come back to you. Laszlo, what are you going to do?
I'm going to use my unique talents to look around the room a second time.
Okay, Elias, what are you going to do?
Are you going to try and steal what's in the room?
No, but I have keen eyes.
I am going to walk around near Kip and look for clues as well.
So you're going to join Kip in the clue hunt. So we got 3 for clue hunt. What are you going to do, Keefe?
I'm gonna interview some people. Is what I'm gonna do.
Excellent. All right. So
strike up some conversation.
So what I want you guys to do is everyone who's searching for clues, I want you to all roll me an unmodified, I want you to all roll me a d20. Laszlo and Elias, I want you guys to do it a +6. And Kip, just unmodified, please.
My God.
Holy fuck, these rolls.
All right. Meanwhile, while they're searching for clues, Keefe goes over to the remaining members of the group there, the 3 NPCs essentially who are hanging out. And what are you going to ask him? Who are you going to start with?
Can you just give me a quick, because I think it was before the break, give me a quick reminder of who is in this room? And I know like Big Dude is, I know Demon Lady is, but I don't exactly, and Dolan, but I don't exactly remember where they each said they were.
They didn't really give a straight statement, Codcar. Codcar didn't say anything, but the magistrate and each other looked at each other and they had like an understanding. So you're kind of wondering like, what was that about? He didn't say anything about where he was. And then when he talked to the demon lady, she told him that she was trying to keep her followers out of trouble, essentially, like keeping her fellow demonkin from pissing people off by being there, because they're outcasts of society, and everyone's like, have demons, my word. And Dolan was getting fucking blackout drunk.
Okay. I'm gonna ask Mr. Big Dude. What's his name now to me?
Codcar, the big tall minotaur.
Yes,
all right, so the smallest woman in existence talks to the largest cow person in existence.
Of course, that's exactly who I go to talk to.
And when you look way up at him and you say what?
You know, I noticed that you didn't quite say where you were. I'm just curious, what happened? Where were you before this? Did you see anything that maybe looks strange? Anyone that looks out of place?
Codcar, which I now realize his voice is going to just up and fuck me, says, I was settling a dispute.
What kind of dispute?
He kind of narrows his eyes and says, I had a disagreement with the magistrate over his treatment of a party entering the building.
But we were with the magistrate. What were you doing?
Shortly before, I assume, I went straight to his office once we were permitted entry again, and had words.
What did you guys talk about, may I ask?
He kind of...
You seemed quite civil when he was just here. I'm kind of shocked that you two were so civil with each other.
He kind of... also kind of... Eat a dick, Minotaur snorting my world. Want to fight about it? He looks down at Keefe and kind of narrows his eyes and shamefully kind of admits, I was looking for a rematch.
Looking for a rematch?
Remember in the one episode where he charged up to headbutt the magistrate and the magistrate straight up fucking bombed him over his shoulders?
Oh, yeah. You wanted to fight the magistrate again.
How'd that go for you this time?
He wouldn't accept my challenge. And I left and stewed.
From what I can tell, is he pretty genuine? Does he seem kind of just like a little bit, maybe like his ego was bruised, but nothing is fishy here?
I don't know. Why don't you roll me an unmodified d20 and we'll find out if you can suss out his intentions.
Oh, fuck me. I'm like, yeah, everything's great. This is awesome. You
nod your head and you're like, seems legit to me. Moving on.
Great. Next person. Let's go.
Yep.
I'm going to put my neck out and vouch for this Codcar, as I recruited him earlier, and he seemed like an honest, straightforward fellow. I think that the shame of getting tossed over Sallow's head would be too much for him to bear.
Okay,
all right,
sounds
fair.
legit to me.
All right, Keefe, are you going to grill either of the other two?
Yeah, I'm gonna turn next to Miss Demon Lady, and I'm gonna say, must have kind of got to see everyone that was up here while you were looking after your kind. Did you see anything out of place? Did you see anyone that looked suspicious? Fishy?
She looks down at you and smiles and basically informs you that she asks you, have you ever owned a bag of cats?
A bag of cats?
A bag of cats.
It sounds lovely. I love cats.
Yeah. All right. So now, have you ever turned that bag of cats upside down and let them into a room?
No, but that sounds either quite cuddly or quite chaotic. I'm not quite sure.
But you understand what it's like having a room full of cats, right?
Yeah, I think I do.
And she just kind of nods and hopes that was the lesson that was imparted by her statement there.
And I kind of like pat her leg in understanding of seems legit to me. And then I'll go to Dolan one more time and just kind of, is he starting to sober up a little bit maybe?
Yeah, he's a little bit more sober now. Things got real heavy, so he's a little less inebriated. He is more like a little hungover now.
Okay, so I kind of go up to Dolan and I say, you okay there, buddy?
Oh, I guess yeah. What can I do for you?
Just wondering where you got such great booze. Seems like you're at a party. Who are you hanging out with?
Well, like I think I explained earlier, maybe, but I'll reiterate. I don't really remember everything clearly, but we came in after killing the thing, and I went to someone's table. He was really tall and skinny, and I went, "Hello, my name's Dolan," and he got up and left. But he left behind 2 really tall glasses of something. I don't really know what it was. He couldn't stick around and tell me. But I thought, well, this gentleman left his liquor. I might as well. And then that repeated a lot. I don't remember when I stopped. It might have been when we got on the elevator. I think I was still doing it when we got on the elevator.
Do you remember what he looked like?
The guy who I took the booze from? Who left me some booze?
Yeah, that sounds like a really great thing that happened to you. So maybe perchance you remember who was so kind as to leave their booze for you.
Maybe I can hold on. He kind of looked like if you go like this and then you look angry at people who don't have a lot of money.
Do you remember what he was wearing?
Yeah, he was wearing a dickhead outfit.
A what?
I said a dickhead outfit because he looked like a dickhead. Oh.
Can you describe what that means here? Would you like some water?
No, you already did that enough. I'm good with that. It was poofy and stupid and dumb. That's what he looked like. He did this and he looked stupid and dumb and like he didn't like you if you couldn't put a handful of gold in his hand.
Was there any particular colors that might have stood out?
Oh, God. You're asking a lot of questions, little one.
I'm sorry, but someone's dead, dude.
Sorry, that's fair. That's fair. I suppose this is an interrogation of sorts.
Sorry, man.
Someone's dead, dude.
Dude.
Most casual gnome ever.
Someone's dead, bruh.
Got the good gnome cop, bad gnome cop going on over here.
Yeah, so Dolan. after we take a moment to recover and drink some water. Talon composes himself and he goes, "Oh, it was purple. He is wearing purple. A lot of purple. He's got purple. It's purple dickhead."
Okay, purple dickhead. Got it. You said you were.
That was set up.
So you said you were drinking for a very long time. Are you sure you were drinking that long, or could something have maybe had something else in it? Maybe by chance you seemed really drunk.
I didn't see anyone on any suspicious dates, so there wasn't anything, I think, in many of the drinks. So, you know, I don't know. I drank a lot of drinks.
Sorry. Sounds legit to me.
All right.
I think that's all my questioning for right now.
Okay. Detective Keefe returns to the center of the room, content in her abilities to interview people about whether they're murder suspects.
You know, I got some real insightful information there, team.
Did a really good job.
In the interim, Elias and Kip, you kind of look around for clues. And together you kind of pieced together that what you think might have happened, Ella, like CSI style, right? So you think from where he was standing, you can see that somebody had had talked to him, and then it looks like he had stood there talking to a single person, from what you can kind of gather from the forensics. And you get this impression that whoever he was talking to, it didn't go so well, and they probably murked him, because shortly thereafter he kind of fell down after being stabbed through the throat. And you get the impression that the way he fell, in that kind of like, well, you don't really know from anything other than the blood on the ground, right, and inside the stone room. But from the pattern, you can kind of tell that it looks sort of like he had fallen after being stabbed and lying there. And then afterwards, his stomach looks like it was kind of stabbed following that. But otherwise, you can't really, like, it looks like one came and then the other followed. And he was lying on the ground. And then otherwise, there's just nothing around that looks like a murder weapon. There's nothing around that looks like it could be like a point of focus other than possibly that book. Nothing else really looks like important.
If he died here, didn't Keefe question why the book was out? If he was here dead, why is that over there?
Well, he could have brought it out before he talked with somebody. He could have brought it out and then talked to somebody, and then they could have not liked what he had to say, or it could have been brought out after by somebody who might have known it existed already or found it.
I was asking Kip.
Oh, shit.
Oh, because you're
that's
next
what
to
she
me.
told you.
Yeah,
Okay.
because we're both.
I said
we're both-
exactly what that. I said that.
Except it wasn't Kip who told you that. You just discerned it yourself because you were the one who rolled like the high. Or sorry, Laszlo told you that. Kip was like, I don't know, he died, man. And then Laszlo turned around and said everything I said.
Oh.
Thank you for the insightful knowledge, Laszlo.
So now that's what you've gathered from your clue gathering session. You're all back in the center of the room. What's the sitch? What's the haps, fam?
Can I would like to, if I can, I think that everybody in this room presently should empty their pockets. I want to see what weapons all of us have on us. I want to see every single thing that you have on your person. I start My little crumbs of my elven friendship bread I sprinkle on the ground. I take out my dog Pip, who is my only weapon, my flint, my tinder, my torch, and my 100 gold, and the bag of 5,000 gold that we just recently got from the magistrate.
All right, Keefe. And what do you do? Is there anything you take out of your inventory and put down?
I'm just gonna take out the same thing. All I have is my gold, which I kind of just show and then put back in my pockets. Just I don't really want to leave that out for anyone because 100 gold is a lot to a little gnome like myself. My torch, my flint, my tinder, the 10-foot rope that I happen to be carrying around that I forgot all those times that I happened to conjure a rope instead of just using the one in my bag. Because sometimes you forget what you're carrying around. And then just show my water skin and say, that's all I have.
Oh, how silly of me to forget. Rummage through my bag. Oh, okay.
No,
Yeah.
God, no, damn
There we
it.
go. And I
Also-
just set it on the ground.
I'll kind of just show my ring as well and be like, and I have this ring as well.
All right, Laszlo, what are you going to pull out?
Well, I have they have torch and tinder, and I have my 2 pistols, which clearly did not cause the wound to Delanom. I don't really have. I have no gold or anything else, nor the weapons. That's all I have.
And you just put that out?
Yes.
All right. And Elias, what are you going to do?
I pull out my rope and my nice bag of gold because I am highborn and everything has to be pretty. And I show my sword and put it all back.
All right. So there you go. That's what everyone's chosen to put out. And likewise, the other NPCs, Dalin, the one thing he has always is his weapon. And he kind of just tosses that on the ground and goes, that's it.
An axe, right?
Yeah. And my axe.
And
he
my
throws
axe.
it on the ground. Well, it's like a pickaxe / hammer.
Right, yeah. Okay.
It's a pick hammer, which I forget the name of. Depth Breaker, I think, is what I named it. It's obsidian. It's fancy. So he throws that on the ground, and that's pretty much it. And he looks at you and he says, "I'm not letting you know how much gold's in my beard." And then the Codcar kind of looks around. And you can tell that he's like, what shit would I have? I'm literally wearing an apron and then decency pants. He's just a big furry, scarred, burnt beefcake who there's nothing in his pockets currently.
Well, I
He's
don't
wearing
know.
a big leather apron, and he's wearing literally just a small tattered piece of shorts that he wears because other people don't want to see his dick, but otherwise he doesn't care.
Hey, I know all about nature's pockets, and you're a large man, or just minotaur. You looks like you might have a big nature's pocket. Don't give me that look, sir.
Sorry, are you volunteering to have a cavity search of the Minotaur?
Nope, just responding to his kind of sassy look at me like, obviously I don't have anything.
Don't make us go into his prison wallet, damn it.
I kind of look over at her and be like, this is why you're not highborn.
Oh.
and then Devotion, she kind of coyly, she's wearing a high priestess robe, but her robe has a midriff showing as part of the design of her outfit.
Eyebrows.
And she kind of pats down and doesn't really have anything on her at the moment. And then she goes, well, I don't have anything, but I could take my clothes off if you like. That's a joke.
At that, I'm like, I'm just kind of like, oh, no, of course not. Don't worry about it.
And she kind of nods at you. So there you go. That's everything that's been turned out of people's pockets that you know of. And yeah, Anything else? Where do you want to go from here, Detective Keefe?
Oof. Grasping at straws here.
I have a request. Since Keefe is the only one with magical abilities in this room, besides the stone singers, is there some way you could summon a like a truth spell that would force out
Like a lie detector?
some kind of truth generation?
The
Well,
man who wouldn't tell us where he was wants a truth spell.
we're getting into the thing, putting the burnt copper in the blood samples section now. The priestess Devotion is also a magic user. But other than that, yeah, Keefe could potentially touch people and try to channel her intent to make them tell the truth.
Can only go.
Oh
Who
god.
is the most likely suspect, though? I think it might be a waste to just touch anybody and see what they were up to.
So, if we remember from all the battling that we've done, does anyone remember any weapons that someone might not be revealing?
Well, Kadakar just headbutts people.
Kadakar?
Codcar.
Adgar.
Think of a cod.
Cadgar?
Now put it in a car. You got yourself a cod car.
A Codcar. Codcar headbutts people, so yeah, I guess he doesn't have anything. Devotion, she didn't really fight. I don't know.
As you guys are talking, Devotion kind of sneaks up behind Dahlin and puts her hand on Dahlin, and Dahlin immediately jolts up and looks at her, and he goes, "I really want to have sex with you." What? And she just kind of giggles to herself and kind of nods to everyone, as kind of like, "Hey, maybe this is something I can do."
You're muted, or we can't hear you, Sandy Love.
I was going to say, I think this is more Devotion's territory. I'm scared that I might hurt someone. That's a lot of rolls, or by chance of the magic. So maybe someone who knows how to do this.
So Devotion nods and kind of like holds out her hands just to be like, "Who's gonna go first? Is anyone gonna go first?"
Oh, I volunteer as tribute if she's touching me.
All right. So she kind of rubs her hands together
Yo.
and places it on your shoulder, but like also kind of around the half of your neck. So like in that point where it's just kind of like a light touch there. What do you say to her? You're speaking absolute
I didn't think about this. Oh God. I don't know. Hold on, I need a second. What do I say absolute truth to her? Is it could be anything that's true? Or it's like she's asking, where were you?
She's basically putting her hand on you, and you shout out true things to her basically as a result of it. So you have to shout out something that is implicably true, and you can't lie about it at all.
Fuck me. You're the most beautiful demon I've ever seen, I've ever laid eyes upon. You are gorgeous. What is thy bidding, my master?
And she kind of like gently takes her hand off of your shoulder and nods at you and moves over and says, and kind of like nominates who's going to be next. Who's going to go over and talk to her now?
I will.
Yeah?
Yeah, I walk up and I stick my hand out.
Okay. So Devotion goes to grab your hand. And she charges it up and puts her hand, it goes to put her hand on you. And now she's touching you. So you have to yell out something true and like it has to be true. You have to yell out a truth.
I don't trust Laszlo.
Ooh.
And I kind of stop and I look down.
You look down at who?
No, like down at the ground. Like, did I just say that?
Oh, okay. Fair enough. So she kind of like raises an eyebrow at that and looks over at Laszlo. Are you going to volunteer to be touched by the lady?
Yes, I will. I will volunteer.
Fair enough. Okay, so she comes over and she extends her hand out and she touches it, and before you can yell anything out, she kind of looks you in the eyes and asks you just straight up, "Did you kill High Singer Delanom?"
No, I would never do such a thing.
As you apparently cream your pants.
Well, everybody else is over this demon.
So she kind of laughs to herself, and she walks over to Kodkar, and he holds out his hand, and she grabs the hand and looks him in the eyes, and he looks down and he says, "I'm Kodkar Anvilbreaker, and I don't kill innocent people." And he's just like super intense about it. So there you go. That's nobody seems to be shouting out anything directly. So where do you guys go from here? Devotion has lie detected everybody. Nobody admitted to a murder.
So okay.
What did Siphius yell out?
Oh yeah, she didn't touch Siphius. That's right. Okay, so Siphius is there. You guys want him to get touched, I assume.
Absolutely.
Touch Siphius. Do it. Touch him now. So she walks over and kind of puts her hand on Siphius with a sympathetic look in his eyes, and he kind of just like looks at her, and in the process of bursting forth crying and just suffering so much, he just says, "How could I? He was like my father." And then he just crumbles to the ground crying in a little puddle.
Okay, so not him.
I think we can gather generally that the murderer is not any one of us in this room, and we might need to start looking outside of the room. We can assume that this book, I really can't stress it enough that I really feel that this book and the letter and everything has something to do with this murder. Why is it in this room? Why? Like, do you know what I mean, you guys? Does anybody else agree with me? Like, I really think that it has to have been another stone singer, or
I think the book is the only clue we're left with now.
Yeah, I really hate
We
to.
just need to.
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry. I was gonna say we just need to figure out who else wanted to be High Singer. I think that'd be the only motive I can think for. What else did a 500-year-old dude do to anybody? I mean, he obviously kicked the Minotaur's butt, but we don't need to revisit that again.
That wasn't him.
Oh, that was the magistrate.
That was the magistrate.
That was not 500-year-old dude. See, he's innocent. He did nothing.
Guys, I really hate to say this because I love him with all my heart, but does anybody think about David the intern and his intent?
I mean, he was quite unhappy with the other stone singers. He does want to be respected.
You're considering David is the murderer?
I don't friggin' know. I am so
no, that's cool. That's
lost.
cool. I am so fine with that. You know,
Someone in his position would be under a high amount of stress at all times.
Yeah. And why is he interning? What does he want to become?
Next question. Did he have a butler?
Was it Professor Plum with the candlestick in the bathroom?
I don't know.
That's
I have
fair,
no
because you
idea.
guys are thinking about it. You're kind of going over this, and as you're kind of processing this information, the elevator starts coming up, and the magistrate walks through the door, and he basically kind of looks at you all, and you can tell he's here with information on where everybody was. And he kind of goes, "Could everyone please meet me in the middle of the room?"
Yep, we'll meet you there, buddy.
So he kind of looks around at everybody, and he goes, he looks down at the ground, and he sees that all of your weapons and stuff have kind of like been put out, except for Elias put his stuff back, but pretty much everyone else has their crap out still.
I thought everybody put their stuff back after.
No, you're the only one who said he put it back.
Oh.
Everyone else is just like,
I thought
it's in the
everyone
pile
did.
now.
Saji put her money back.
Yeah, I kept
Yeah.
the money. Everything
Yeah.
else doesn't really. Actually, I pick up my gnome water as he walks in and just kind of like hold that close, like don't touch my bottle of water.
Yeah, I'll pick up everything.
Okay, well, he's like a little upset now because he's like, what the hell are you doing? I wanted everyone to put their stuff on the floor. Now you're putting it all back.
Oh. Put my stuff back.
I put all my stuff on the floor.
And he kind of looks at you all, and he's like, okay, you know what? I don't trust anyone here anymore. This has been all a great ordeal. And he summons over one of his guards, and he goes, frisk them. So the guard kind of wanders his way over and starts with Kip, and just kind of like holds up his hands like, this okay? Ma'am, I need to touch you right now.
Yeah, it's fine.
So he kind of like pats you down, and your dog's on the ground and stuff, and he hold on, I need to check one thing real quick about your inventory. Just gotta click on a thing here.
Uh-oh.
Sorry, I just wanted to check. Okay, cool. And he kind of like pats you down a bit, and then he pulls out the 3 remaining elven friendship brownies that you have on your person. And he goes, ma'am, are these yours?
Yes.
And he kind of looks at
They're
them a
not
bit.
yours.
No, I mean now they are. I confiscated them.
They're friends. They're friends.
And he smiles at you before you can keep talking, and he's like, "'Cause they look delicious," and puts them back in your bag.
Give him one. Give him
Yeah, would you like? You could have one if you want. They're friendship brownies, so you're a friend to me.
And he's like, "Sorry, ma'am, I'm on duty right now. Maybe later."
Okay. Oh, just wipe sweat from my brow.
So he walks over and looks down at Keefe, and kind of is a little like, "How do I do this?" And he gets down on both knees, like apologetically, and like holds out his hands, kind of like, "Can I go ahead?"
All yours.
My heart. My fucking heart.
So he pats you down, and he doesn't find anything out of the usual. It's all the stuff you said about earlier. There's no strange things on your person. And then next he goes over to Laszlo, and he goes like, "Sir, can I touch you?"
Yes, frisk away.
Okay, cool. Laszlo, can you go ahead and just roll me a d20 real quick at like a +4?
Oh.
All right, yeah. The guard pats you down. He don't find shit. You're fine. It's cool. Everything you put out in the middle of the room, it's just all good. Everything looks completely normal.
As I expected.
So he continues onwards, And now he stops at Elias and asks him if he can kind of pat him down.
I take off my cloak and I hand it to him first, and then stick up my arms.
So you're like, hold this bitch, and he like has to like drape it on his arm while he's like awkwardly searching you. And he finds some like a couple of vials of like odd potions and stuff on you, and some random trinkets, but like nothing aside from what you showed everybody.
Yeah.
And so he kind of he goes through the same process with the other NPCs. And they don't yield anything else. He's a little hesitant about searching Dolan. Dolan's just kind of like, oh yeah, you want to touch me? You know, he has a problem with authority, so he's enjoying making the guard uncomfortable. Like, I'm not wearing pants. And then he moves over to the Devotion, and Devotion's just kind of like, I get this a lot. And then Kodkar basically like looks down at him, and he kind of like, the guard lifts his apron a bit and looks around, and then like thumbs up him and kind of walks away a little intimidated. And the magistrate kind of like frowns, and he goes, all right, I got witness statements from everyone. You, Kip, and you, the little one, Kiffy.
It's Kiffy.
Whatever. You two, everyone who saw you essentially saw what you said. It was correct. You, and he points to Laszlo, Mr. Laszlo Divil, your family vouched for your presence. And you, and he points to the elf, I have reports that vary on your presence. You seem to be a very unseen character around these parts. Nothing corroborates or enhances your statement, but one thing that is for certain, nobody remembers having been asked by you about a weaver or a seamstress or anything like that.
It was common folk. They're probably all drunk.
I asked everyone in the building. I had a lot of people go around and affirm these witness statements, and nobody said that you asked that question to anybody.
Interesting.
So is there anything you're going to say in response to him, basically? I'm
just like, interesting.
And that's all you say to him?
Like, would you like to search me again?
He goes, there's no point. You were obviously, nothing on you seems like a viable... And he kind of looks at your sword, and then he kind of looks at Delanom. Then he looks at you and goes, that's awfully pointy.
It is a family heirloom.
And he goes, can I look at it?
Be my guest.
And he picks up the sword and he kind of looks it over, up and down. And now you can get the sense that he's incredibly suspicious of Elias, but nothing is out of place on the sword. So he hands it back to him and kind of like gruffly returns to addressing everyone. And he says, well, we have some suspicion, and honestly, I don't even trust you no matter what anyone says, Laszlo, or anybody in your family. But I have no leads. Nothing concrete. What do we all... Did you come up with anything in the room while I was away?
Just that whoever did it was probably after this book.
And he looks at the stone book and he kind of like kind of looks it over and it's, what, this book? What is it? What about this book? What's so important about this big heavy thing?
I think it has some secrets that Delanom didn't want to share.
He kind of like nods his head and so, well, why isn't it open? Why don't we need to know what's inside, obviously.
Ephesus is the only one that can do it. And he wants to wait till we figure out who did this to Delanam.
And the magistrate kind of like shakes his head and says, well, we have no other leads, then maybe this will impart some information. Siphius. And Siphius is still kind of like a sad pile on the ground. And he kind of looks up with like red eyes and snot going down his nose. And he's like, what? Open the book. I'll make sure that nobody touches it. Just open the damn thing. And Siphius kind of nods at him after a direct command from his superior, more or less, and gets up and he reads over the note a little bit and kind of puts his hands on it. And in a form of like what looks to be kind of like bird wings, he spreads his hands open while saying something. And then the book kind of pops open. So now it's unlocked. Whatever was holding it from being openable is now open, essentially. And he goes to kind of like start opening it. Is there anything any of you guys are going to do at all?
No, I'm going to watch intrigued.
Keefe, you doing anything?
I'm going to watch as well.
All right, that's two. That's two for watch the book open.
2 for watch the book open. See
Laszlo, are you watching the book open?
I just want to know if there's any pertinent information inside.
All right, that's 3 for watching the book open. Elias, what are you going to do? Are you going to watch the book open?
Would he be actually watching at that point, or would he be asking questions?
Who?
Laszlo. Because he just said he wants to know if there's any information in it. So would he just be sitting there watching, or is he asking?
I mean, clarify for us, Laszlo. Were you asking or were you watching?
I want Siphius to actually look in the book. See if there's
Assuming
anything
that's
there.
what's gonna happen when it opens.
All right. So, but you don't say anything to them, right?
No, I'm just glaring, waiting.
All right. Elias, what are you going to do then? You going to join in the wait glaring?
I'm going to ask if they see any reason why this book would have been the source of a murder to someone that apparently had no enemies.
Siphius kind of starts flipping through it, and he kind of like goes over a bunch of things, and he's kind of like you can see, he's like, like, oh, these are things I didn't know. You know, like he's picking up some stuff here that I imagine he would have learned at some point, but it's very far ahead. So he's like, oh God, this is a lot to take in. And as he's kind of searching through it, he kind of comes to a passage, and then looks at it, and there's like a pause, and he flips through and flips back and quickly. He's a very quick reader, so he's just going over everything in this book, and it looks like he doesn't understand what he's reading very well, but he's a little terrified.
What is it, Siphius? What do you see?
He looks into the book and he says, I believe Delanam was a practitioner of blood magic.
What?
Are you sure?
I would need quite some time to figure out what all this means, but people shouldn't be doing this.
Siphius, a long time ago, the highborn elves all knew blood magic before we outlawed it. General knowledge was passed down. I can tell you if he was.
He kind of like, he eyes you pensively and then takes the book and kind of holds it up. And he's starting to back up, and he's like, no, none of you should be reading this book at all. Nobody should be coming near this thing. I shouldn't even be near this thing.
Why?
This is it's next to necromancy. The blood magic and necromancy I can't forgive anyone who potentially used this for anything. Perhaps there's even more in here. I don't want anyone to see this. This book. And he's kind of like panicking, and now we'll resolve the vote everybody voted on. So as he's backing up, the book is kind of like loose in his hands, but it's hard to hold. He's panicking. I'm just going to refresh the screen to make sure I have the right totals. And you guys all voted for, the question was, does he drop it? And 60% of you voted yes. So Siphius, while holding this dangerous tome of forbidden magical knowledge, which he apparently now has discovered is, kind of panics and falls over himself. And in the process, he launches the book and it falls open into the center of the room. And he kind of like falls back on his back and kind of gets up a bit. And he's like, oh, damn it.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
We're also standing in the center, so it's like right beside us, right?
Mm-hmm. It's basically like you're all kind of around him in a semicircle. He drops it and it's open in front of all of you equidistantly.
What is? I'm sorry, I have no idea what that word means.
You are all equal distance from it.
Is it within like if somebody was to bend over and pick it up, is it that close?
Like you could lunge over and pick that bitch up. Anybody around you could right now.
I am gonna pick up the book.
Okay. Is there anything anybody else is good?
I'm gonna look at Siphius and be like, Siphius, here, let me. And I go to pick it up in a, like, almost a motion to try and hand it back to him.
Okay. And is there anything you guys are gonna do as well? So let's start in a row. Kip, what are you doing in response to the book falling on the ground open?
I'm gonna back up a little bit.
Okay, you're gonna back the hell up?
I'm gonna back my ass up. Yeet.
Okay. Keefe, what are you gonna do?
I'm slightly suspicious of Elias at this point after after he mentioned the blood magic thing of his people. So I'm just gonna kind of like among all these tall people, I'm gonna try and position myself kind of as closely to him as possible so I can kind of react to anything that might happen.
Okay, cool. Laszlo, is there anything you're gonna do?
I'm only going to ask, would this explain why Delanom was as old as he was? I
Probably.
I believe the blood magic might explain that.
You don't know anything about blood magic. You just heard it for the first time, basically. The majority of you had never heard about blood magic ever. And because it's something not commonly talked about. And people, and you're basically like, yes, you get the sense that like, because they mentioned that and they're all like, oh God, blood magic. You're like, yeah, it probably has something to do with immortality, I guess. Like you can kind of like get that sense. There's nothing in there confirming it entirely, but I mean, it seems a pretty strong hint. Does that answer your question?
Yes, I just wanted to snidely say that.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. So that's what everyone's actions are? You're not going to do anything other than just kind of ask that question, Laszlo?
Yes.
All right. So Keefe, what were you doing again?
I'm kind of positioning myself as close to Elias as possible, potentially kind of like behind him, somewhere that like wasn't noticeable, but I could still either grab him or somehow react to fire. Light him on fire, just something. I'm very suspicious of him at this point, especially since he was the first to reach for the book.
All right, cool. So that's what you guys are going to do. Dahlin and the NPCs and all that stuff, they're not really going to do anything in reaction. They're just going to be like, oh, Siphius fell, dropped a book. That sucks. So Elias and Keefe, why don't you go ahead and give me a roll each, roll a d20 and add your initiative modifier.
Oof. Oof.
Oh, there was a high roll, but unfortunately Elias gets to go forward with what he was going to do first. So Elias, why don't you go ahead and explain to me how this all goes down?
I bend over and I pick up the book. I'll be like, Siphius, here, let me help. And I grab the book, and as I do, my grip tightens on it, and I just look at him, and I'm like, I claim this is my own now.
Oh yeah? Is that what you do with the book in front of everybody?
Yes.
All right. And is there anything else you're going to follow up with in that action?
I take out a potion that I'm holding and I throw it at the ground, lighting myself on fire and burning myself in the book.
All right. So Elias takes the potion out of his inventory. He throws it at the ground, self-immolating. The fire is instantaneous. It's like worse than napalm. It just immolates this poor elf and everything that he's currently holding. He doesn't scream. He just kind of stands there staring at you all for a minute. And just before you can kind of like make out a little bit of a smirk on his face before the pile of what is him just kind of crumbles into ash.
I give him a little like maniacal laugh as I dissipate.
Okay,
Can you try to do that, please? I want to hear your maniacal laugh.
All right, yeah, go ahead and maniacal laugh for us.
God.
And then poof, pop. All right, there you go. You guys have watched Elias self-immolate himself for some reason, holding the book, and him and the book were engulfed in the flames. And even though it's stone, for some reason it crumbled to ash at the end of all of this. So normally, there would be something left of that, but it's just like everything that was him is just a pile of ash now that's kind of sitting unmoving on the middle of the floor.
What in the actual fuck just happened?
And that's where we end our adventure.
Well, Elias.
I had a feeling.
Yeah, I don't know why I didn't.
You're talking to a pile of ash. I'm just saying.
Well, we're done, right? Now we're in
Hands
discussion.
on your hips, looking at a pile of ash.
Right? Yeah.
Elias.
Why
No, we're
I
done,
don't know
right?
why I didn't question his sword. Like that was the only weapon that matched the wounds.
Well, and I legit messaged Dara, and I was like, he has a rapier, doesn't he? Like, that would be a thing.
A silver
And,
master-crafted one.
Yeah, but no one else is like weirded out about it. So I was like, then maybe it's like nothing. But literally this entire time, I was like, 100% Elias did it. I was like, this whole time.
Yeah.
But no one else seemed like nervous about it. So I was like, okay, whatever. Like, I'm just the high little elf. Like, whatever.
I should have let the gnome die.
Or gnome. The gnome.
Shit. Oh my god. Okay. So that was like, assuming that was his whole reason for fighting with us, that was his whole reason, was because he knew of this.
Could be.
This book, maybe, and.
He's a pile of ash, so you can't really, get any answers.
I know. I'm just thinking, whoa, Lionhead Gaming with a freaking big ol' host.
Oh,
Lionhead Gaming, hello. Thank you so much for that host. We have our alerts lowered. Sound off right now, just to not interrupt the gameplay, but we actually just finished this episode, unfortunately, and now we're just discussing it. We literally just ended, but thank you so much for that host. How was your stream? What were you up to?
Well, here, let's start the happy outro music.
Yes.
And
happy. I don't know about happy. We should have some sad
the music
shit.
is happy. I don't know if it was a happy adventure.
Yeah.
But thanks to all of you for tuning in tonight for our first episode of Chapter 2 of Minkles and Dragons. It's been a great time so far. For those of you just joining us and a big pile of, host people, the adventure so far has been, they're on a moving city. The city didn't move. They found out why it wasn't moving. It was a monster in the sewers basically controlling a bunch of stuff through psychic fuckery. They killed it. They went back inside. High Singer Delanom was like, let's start the car. Vroom, vroom, vroom. The car started. Now they're starting moving. But he was like, oh, fuck yeah. Let me give you some sweet sag for helping us out of this shitty problem. And then they were, sweet swag, sorry. And then he was like, you should go ask the administrator for money. And then they were like, okay, we'll go ask the administrator for money. And then they went down and asked the administrator for money. And he was like, yeah, okay, you can ask some money, and gave them 5,000 gold. And then they got a phone call and it was like, ring, ring, who's there? It's Siphius. He's sad. Why are you sad? My singer Delanom died. whoa, fuck. So then the remainder of the adventure for tonight was everybody figuring out who the fuck murdered Delanom. And you all kind of get the impression that it was Elias when he managed to get his hand on the unlocked book that Siphius had and then immolated himself and it together. I mean, there was no conclusive evidence as a result of that, but, you know, that was kind of how things went down. And then we ended the session.
Psychic fuckery trademarked.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, that was absolutely... That was awesome. I just... Fuck. How did we skip over that? How did all of us... I was like, surely it can't be any one of us playable characters. That's crazy.
Can I reveal what Laszlo saved himself from?
I don't know. Is that Laszlo's... I mean, I guess in that particular instance, you could say that what you had done, I suppose. But Laszlo, is that okay if he, like, about that thing that ended up in the thing? Is it okay if he tells you what happened there?
Yeah, sure.
I stole a ring and I put it into Laszlo's pocket.
Yeah, he stole one of Delanom's like signature rings as a grandmaster of the singers.
Oh, you were
or
trying to frame Laszlo.
Yeah, so he had passed secret rolls to slide it into your inventory.
But he
That's
rolled
why he
really
kept...
high and saved himself, you lucky bastard.
Yeah, so he rolled super high, and the guard was like, "Don't find no rings here, no sir." And I just
best guards ever. And
I was trying so hard not to.
Apparently, you hit it in my butt.
Yeah, you were just like before it came over. You're just like, up it goes.
You guys thought it was weird that I was asking about people's nature's pocket.
I had rolled like a 25 to hide that on you too.
Oh my
So
god!
when you saved yourself, I looked at Dylan. I'm like, what the fuck?
That's crazy. Okay, ew. Oh boy! Wow, we are horrible detectives. I'll just throw that out there.
I think we just wanted to
you
trust
guys are like,
everybody.
I'm just gonna look around the room, and I was like, oh fuck, I'm interviewing everyone.
That's yeah.
With the person that has literally the most rolls, or the worst rolls, is gonna be asking people
stuff. I don't know, man. That was tough.
Like,
that was tough. That was tough, Dylan.
Props to the police officers out there.
Yeah, right? The detectives.
Our city is secure. Don't worry, guys. We got this.
We got this. Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. As I will do, I did mention there that if you just came in on that raid and you're like, I don't know what the fuck this is. We do have every episode on our YouTube. Obviously not this one. I need a few days to render it, edit it a little bit, and put it up. So I usually put it up before the next episode, before we start the next episode next Friday. So just check back sometime this week for that to be up on the YouTubes. We also have a Patreon. Shout out to Fiddlesticksbot, who is our latest patron. Exclamation mark Patreon. Hold on, I'll do it. I'm slow. Right there, if you do want to support us, if you are enjoying this a lovely, crazy, wild endeavor, and want to see it continue, there you go, right there. Hey, Lionhead Gaming? Lionhead Gaming was one of the groups that we raided, right? We raided not maybe last time or the.
Maybe I think so.
I think so. Lionhead, do you want to just? I think, yeah, we raided you before, right?
Yeah, but weren't they playing with the like actual minis and stuff in that like themed room, or was that
a different? So that's what is kind of hard because after every like stream, we usually go raid someone that's playing D&D. So sometimes I forget who exactly it is that we raided. But yeah, thank you, April. Big shout out to Dylan for, of course, writing that great episode and every one of our episodes. Shout out to Keefe Sagittary for being a most adorable, precious gnome. MWB dressing up and being wonderful as Laszlo. And the horrific, evil crazy motherfucking elf. Elias, played by
Why am I horrific and evil? There's no proof that I'm
There's
evil.
no
okay.
proof.
No proof at all. No.
There's a pile of ash. What are
No,
you gonna
just
do?
no proof that we could gather because we're bad.
You guys were too busy liking pie.
Each and every one of these people here are streamers. So their respective stream names are above them. So please do drop them a follow. That'd be great. And we will be back, of course, next Friday for Chapter 2, Episode 2, C2E2.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, Dylan, is there anything that you want to say, mate?
Did anybody, while we wrap up here, did anybody in chat have any questions or anything they wanted to talk to us about, or just say any statements or anything? Also, Zan's, I think, said, did Elias get truthed? He did, but it wasn't a very specific inquiry at that point. Also, you get the sense that, like, he had some form of control over what he was doing there. So more mysteries to be solved. However, in that instance, we kind of move on here to letting you all know we also have a Discord channel in Dara's Discord. So if you want to go ahead and join Dara's Discord, it's just !Discord. There's a little link underneath Dara's talkie box where the oh hi and everything. But if you go there, you can go join the Discord, and we have a channel in there called Minkles and Dragons. Anytime during the week, if you're watching these shows and you're like, I have questions, I just watched this, it's like 5 a.m. on a Wednesday, chances are I'll probably show up and be like, yes. Or one of us will. So if you ever have anything following up in that regard, or just suggestions, anything you want to say to us in relation to it. Also, Chicken, thank you for gifting that tier 1 sub to Lionhead Gaming.
Aw, thank you, Chicken. Holy
You're
shit.
a generous boy.
450 gift subs. He hit the 450 mark. That's fucking crazy.
I'm pretty convinced Chicken is a professional hitman, and he just doesn't know what to spend all of his money on. Because he's just like, well, I bought the house, I killed some people. He's in that John Wick, like, before he met the girlfriend with the puppy stage. So we look forward to your rampage against the Russian mafia, Chicken, in a few years.
I just want to I don't know what you're talking about, Lord Zach. I have no idea what you mean.
Wait, what did Zach say?
He said he knew I was bad from the beginning.
Oh, he just gave off that vibe somehow?
I've kind of always gotten that vibe. I was kind of like, what purpose are you here helping with?
But then he also, like, would do these random gestures that were like, oh, like, he saved you. He, like,
Pancake.
he was like, but maybe that was all a ruse, right? Like, he was like, shit, maybe I shouldn't be so much of a dick. Like, they're on to me. Like, maybe I gotta...
Maybe there's something we don't know about. Because he kind of hates everyone else. Maybe there's something about magic that he craves, or there's some other connected mystery.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you guys aren't going to find out the answer because he's fucking dead.
Yeah, I'm a pilot.
Wait, I don't think he's dead.
Oh,
God.
I don't. There's no way that people in a fantasy setting involving magic and actual gods can survive a self-immolation.
Why the fuck would he say this belongs to me now and fucking disappear to ash?
Obviously, he was just rubbing it in. He's dead now. There's no reason to consider him
Oh,
not.
that's sarcasm.
No reason. He's dead. He's gone. Who'd have thunk?
Thanks, evil Neji. Thank you for being here. Oh man.
No, Chicken. We've all played Zelda. We know what happens if you attack the chickens.
Subtle, Dylan, subtle.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So, Dara, are you done for streaming for the night? Or
I
are you
am. Yeah, I am gonna end. So I guess we should look for somebody to.
Yeah, we should look for someone also playing the D's and D's.
Playing the D's.
Yeah, getting their hands all over some D's.
Yeah. Yeah. Wait, what? Saji? Hello?
If you're muted.
I said D's nuts.
I know where I know where I want to go. I know where I want to go. I'm really excited that she's streaming D&D right now.
Okay, where are we going?
We are going. Hold on one second. I don't know if any of you know a lovely streamer named Random Tuesday. She usually streams cosplay, crafting, and sewing and stuff. But she does stuff on Geek Space TV, where she does Dungeons and Dragons. So we are going to go drop a host on Geek Space TV. So give me 1 second. And make sure you check out Random Tuesday as well. Just give me 1 second here.
I'll distract everyone while you do that.
Yeah, go for it.
So yeah, feel free to come along for our raid. We're going to go raid Random Tuesday while they're playing D&D. Again, thank you all so much for tuning in. We very much so appreciate your input in chat. If it looks like we don't respond or see things you type, it's not true. All of us are looking at it. It's just sometimes it's a little distracting. But we definitely love your presence here. We love having everyone support our project. No matter what you do to support it, please spread the word about our videos and our broadcast. We would love to have more of an audience. Not that we don't have a great audience already. It's just we want like everyone in the world in here. Just fit everyone you know, your grandmother, your uncle, you know, your dead aunt, whatever. Put them all in here.
Christ.
Get them in the chat, living or dead. We need bodies.
We do. It means a lot. It helps us out. The more obviously that watch and enjoy. Yeah, and then of course the Discord. I want to see. What do I want to see?
Fan
Fan
art.
I want to see some fan art. I'm trying to think of specific fan art. I want to see somebody's rendition, I guess, of what devotion looks like, just for science. Or what you think devotion looks like, the pretty demonic lady. And I would love to see Elias going up in flames. I would just love to see that.
Of that asshole killing himself.
Yeah, I would really like that in a visual representation. All right, so if you guys...
I have a fan art request as well.
Oh, okay.
I want somebody to depict what it might have looked like for me to rope a rock monster down.
Yeah,
I want to see that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm still waiting on Kirime for her rendition of what Pip as my bow looks like. Eyebrows. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Yeah, I think that's pretty much everything. Is there anything else?
No, I guess we can go ahead and copy that message you pasted in chat for the raid and go raid.
GIF message, GIF thing, GIF video.
What?
What?
Oh, the GIF. We have to do the GIF.
Oh shit! Right, the GIF.
We all should do a what the fuck, or like a what the fuck face for Elias.
Elias should sit there going like,
Yeah.
So
And we
TJ
should be like looking
yes,
at
you
him.
shall look at him.
Yeah. Be
Wait,
There,
like,
you're gonna need to let. Am I looking in the
Um,
right direction?
yes, and Saji, yep, that way, and MW, yes, that way. Ready? Hold on. 3, 2, 1. Okay. I think that's good. Oh, thank you. Eyebrows. What the fuck face trademarked. All these trademarks, man. All right, guys, let's go on this raid. Yeah, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow night, I think, maybe. Probably. I don't know what. Probably gonna play The Forest some more for community games night. So that's usually around 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I love you guys. I want to play some Overwatch. Crazy.
Oh, yes, please.
Some Overwatch in there. Yeah, let's do it. Cool. Yeah. Bye, everybody.
Goodbye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Big shout out again to Lord Zach Bora, Kiri May, and Fiddlesticksbot for being our first 3 patrons supporting Minkles and Dragons. See you guys over at Geek Space TV. Hopefully. All right, later, guys. Bye, Zoom.
Bye.
Bye.